and listen back on Spotify. This is the World of Football podcast.
Good evening, one and all. Late connection, broken connections, broken faces, broken humans, shattered countries, flags all over the place. They're all up all over the place. But welcome to your Monday edition of the World of Football podcast, where we've changed host. I'm your host this evening. Yes, it's me. So I feel sorry for everybody in tonight's chat. And I'm just going to fix my audio because I'm aware my audio is shit, so I apologise. Let me just...
There we go, it's a bit better now.
Oh, yep, that's fine. Oh, that's good. But it is me, your host Reece, where everybody knows I just make up shit as I go along. But hope everyone is well. And of course, we are waiting for a guest. Hopefully we'll show later on. It's a former permanent member of the podcast, but he's not been on for a while. But it is, of course, Josh, so hopefully he hurries the fuck up. But in the meantime, Nathan, how are we doing, mate?
I am doing very well, thank you. Massive game for Wales tomorrow night. Had the massive one on Thursday, won 4-1 against Finland. Team Pukki somehow scored against us, which, quite frankly, in itself, that's embarrassing. But, yeah. Absolutely mental game coming up tomorrow. Let's bring it on, mate. Let's do it.
That's football for you, bud. That's football. There's always going to be a mad one in the sessions. We're certainly there. We're certainly divulging it. We've got a fair bit of international football to recap tonight, and we've of course got the war between football clubs and the financial bollocks that's going in the end of the season anyway, so we've got that. We're going to be talking a few other things. We're just going to have a good football stream, and it's me hosting, so it's going to be good anyway because there's no Julio, so we know it's going to be a good stream. So let's get into it. Hopefully Josh will appear later on tonight. We did try to reach him. We don't know where he's at, so if anything, I blame Irish Wi-Fi. I think that's by proxy. I think that's a standard procedure, but we are here, and we may as well just dive into it, Nathan. Like, international fixtures left, right and centre. Scotland got battered. The French got humiliated. England lost to Brazil in a very good game. Wales somehow got an important result. Quite shocked. But I think we're going to just start it in the right way. And I think the best place to start, unbiased for a change, I'm actually going to start with the England game. I'm actually going to start with England-Brazil because I didn't watch it fully. I watched so obviously I did watch the highlights. Obviously I was watching the Germany versus France match, but I have to admit, when I watched the game back, two good sides playing some good football. I actually was impressed with England's style. I mean, I know it was their typical defensive style, but they were dominant in spells versus Brazil. Like, Brazil obviously at times had control of the match, but when England did get graft on the game, they really gave Brazil problems, and I thought it says a lot when Endrick really changed the whole dynamic of the match. But what was your thoughts on England versus Brazil?
So I didn't directly watch the game, and everyone knows when it comes with me, between me and watching England, I would rather, I don't know, knit a jumper or watch my paint dry or count the number of grains of grass in my garden than watch England. But at the end of the day, the one thing that you got to take from it is a strong performance from both sides, especially the thing that I will bring into it as well is that Brazil squad compared to like years ago. This is sort of refined, a bit weaker, you could say, and a little bit of a younger squad as well. But for me, it's probably one of the first times I've ever seen it that England have had a stronger squad coming into this game, and even the bench for them, like, they could just carry on forever, quite frankly, England with the quality in the squad. Even some of the names on the bench as well, like Sir Douglas Luiz coming in from Aston Villa
I
for
think when you
Brazil.
just
It's very refined, isn't it? Compared to what it used to be. Oh, I think we got a bit like there.
it is a refined team. Yeah, just a little bit. Sorry, I'm here. If it fucking lets me. You hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
That's fine. That's my fault. If need be, I can easily. Everyone knows I can switch up to the other thing. If it doesn't behave itself. I'm just trying to get the exact. Oh, fuck
Oh.
yourself. Sky Sports.
Yeah, it's
This
a
is
little.
my
It's
box.
still, that's better. There we go.
Going back and forth. Honestly, honestly could have napped in that England game. Yeah, you probably could have, mate. You probably could have.
Yeah.
Sky Sport Football. If my connection does at some point go, it's not my fault, man. Like, it's just the laptop decides to hate human beings, which is culturally acceptable. I want to go date 24th. Italy won 2-0 yesterday. Decent. Okay, then.
Good result.
Where? Oh, no. I'm just trying to get the actual. Like. I'm trying to
You
get the
looking at
actual
the
thing up.
teams?
There we go. Sorry. Don't worry, I don't have that problem. There it is.
Brilliant.
Stupid. Motherfucker. There. Sky Sports is an issue, so I do apologise, everybody. Starting lineups: England versus Brazil. There we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, when you look at these teams, in a nutshell, when you look at them, I don't know about you, but I don't recognise some of these players. Like, I know some of them, but I don't know all of them. So, like, when you look at that Brazil squad, like, obviously, this is meant to be Palhinha, I think. Bruno
Yeah.
Guimaraes. Like, fuck me, some of these players are absolutely... Like, just tell us what they're fucking... Like, no, I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, but give us their fucking English names. So we can actually... Like, that, England should have swamped them. When you look at it on paper, like, England should have thrashed this Brazil team.
I mean, in comparison to like 10 years ago as well, like they should have put it to bed. I mean, we've always seen it with Southgate, with the low margins and being extremely disciplined at the back, and I mean pressing forward and being cautious and getting the goals that are needed. But I'm sorry, but when you have the likes of Bellingham, who's in ridiculous form at the moment, Ollie Watkins, who's scoring ridiculous amounts of goals for Villa as well, Rice moving it forward. I mean, the quality moving forward with that England team, especially with who came on as well, they should have put this to bed. And Southgate could have looked at it and was like, right, this is a friendly where we can prepare ourselves for the World Cup and move to this sort of attacking play style. And they just didn't seem to want to do it. They sort of hid in awe of, oh, we're playing Brazil here. Let's give them a bit of respect. And at the end of the day, that's what cost them for me. I mean, both teams put out a good game, but
I agree with you.
I'd say it's a poor result for England. Really poor result.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I'm just switching over to my date. I'm hoping that'll actually do better.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, there we go.
Oh. Yeah, I think you got that, Reece. Yeah, let's get into some of the comments here while Reece sorts his thing out anyway. Yeah, that's true. I'm still quite surprised that he was linked. He was even linked with the Man United job. I don't know whether Sir Jim Ratcliffe has lost his mind or anything. And this is me looking at it from a neutral perspective anyway. But yeah, I was shocked at that. I mean, you're going from Ten Hag, who at the end of the day, as Reece and Julio have said over the last weeks and months, that just hasn't implemented this style of play coming in from Ajax. But I mean, it's so poor him even considering it. Like the fact he hasn't gone for an Enrique, even a Diego Simeone. Oh no, I'm just going to go for Gareth Southgate, the guy who's won absolutely nothing for England, and in his case has had loads of criticism there as well. But yeah, I thought for me that's poor. Kobe Mino making his debut as well. That's good for England, especially considering not really many people knew who he was at the start of the season. Comes into that squad, seems really settled as well, especially with new debutants as well, including the likes of Anthony Gordon, etc. Yeah, that's going to be the first of his of many caps, to be honest. And yeah, good on him for getting the debut right there. Looking at some notable mentions as well. Entry Conser getting on the pitch. There we are. That's much better. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh,
there we go. Back. Hello, everyone. I've got the Chromebook. Is my connection better?
a little bit. You're still frozen though.
Okay, let's see how we go. Aye, so Danny. Yeah. All right. Okay. God Almighty. Yeah, take over. I'm gonna switch to the Chromebook. Fuck's sake.
Awesome. Yeah, I completely agree. It was ridiculous, but I think the thing that England need to take from it, they need to learn how to kill off games. I mean, since Southgate has come in charge prior to the 2018 World Cup, there has been a bit of a trend there. I mean, winning the games that they're overwhelmingly expected to win and sort of playing with freedom, but whenever they've got to come up against these big opponents, sort of absolutely folding in half against France. Croatia was a massive one in 2018.
Agreed.
When I watched that, when I was in the middle of the Mediterranean with a load of England fans. Just the sheer arrogance that I could feel on my shoulders there, listening to everyone saying, "Oh, we're going to beat Croatia." And just sort of going into it really cocky, and then getting absolutely humbled by a future Ballon d'Or winner, some great players in there, but I don't know what it is, but England just don't go in attacking for these games at all at the end of the day. And if they ever want to even come close to sniffing at a trophy, which they have a squad that is more than capable of doing it, if not now more than ever. And look moving forward into the 2026 World Cup as well. Boy, that squad's going to be ridiculous when it's matured, especially when Bellingham's a few years older as well. And I mean, if they want to make an impact now, especially when you have the likes of Argentina out of it, etc., and certain teams in Europe on a bit of a rebuild as well. If they want to really push for some silverware, and if Gareth Southgate wants to show what he's about, they have to do something in these Euros. Exactly. Doug's hit it right on the chin there. Welcome in, by the way, mate.
Yeah, you're spot on, man.
Terrible record.
You're completely spot on.
And it's these fear of big games for them. I don't know whether it's the arrogance going into it, the typical England arrogance, or whether it's, something else that they just don't know how to win and they're only comfortable in their comfort zone. I don't know, but things have got to change there. If there was someone, I don't know, like a Mourinho in charge and Eddie Howe who'd be pressing for it, or even any other young English manager that you can think of who are good in these big matches, then yeah, at the end of the day, they need to learn how to kill it off. Right, let's put Reece in there. There you go. That's much better, mate. Bingo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Audio settings.
Bash.
There we go.
Oh, that is perfect.
Yeah, it'll just be the laptop then. That's fine. So I can set that down. We carry on as normal. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologise. We're not gonna restart. We'll just carry on. Okay, so yeah, Doug put in a great comment there about 4 wins in 24 internationals. See, when you look at the top international teams,
Mhm.
when you look at the names, obviously one of them is Germany.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the 3 other ones, what we're going to say Senegal, and who are the other 2? Like I think they beat Italy once, didn't they? They beat Italy.
They beat Italy.
Aye, so Italy, Germany,
Can't really class Colombia.
Senegal. Colombia, if it can be in Colombia 10 years ago, it'd be a top team.
Oh yeah.
They haven't beat like anyone like Argentina or anything like that. So, and they won't beat them again for a long time. That's not a dig at England fans either. That's just a fact of life.
At the time as well, I think one of those 4 wins was Wales.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not going to say bias on it with Scotland. You wouldn't class Scotland as a top team. They're just a good side, but they're not a top team. So, but it's still a win. But in terms of like actual big wins, they really don't get enough. And
another thing I find with England as well, and I find this extremely suspicious, and I don't know whether there's something more to look into it, is these ridiculously easy groups that they always seem to get themselves in these easy run-ins, and they always seem to get humbled whenever they have a challenge. I forgot about Spain.
Spain, the Nations League. Aye.
Did.
That's a good point, because when you look at it in a nutshell, obviously, any honest football fan would say they want a reasonable group for a tournament. That's completely fine. Nobody's going to deny that. But theoretically, if you want to go and win something, there's a reason why the likes of France, Germany, Brazil, Italy, Argentina, this is World Cup I'm speaking about specifically, even Portugal in recent years, there's a reason why they've gone very deep in tournaments, is because they get hard groups. So you're expected to raise your game. Now, England in recent years have got to semi-finals and a final because at least the knockout running has been difficult and they've had to raise the stakes. Yeah. But when they've got to the final hurdle, the one thing that's been proven consistently is these players will have a moment in them where they will drop off big time. So they're going to theoretically, they're going to lose out on the top prizes, but also as well, we've seen it consistently with Southgate, where Southgate does not change games at the times where they should have. Now, everyone talks about England and Croatia and England versus Italy as 2 big ones, but even look at England versus France. Like, France were there for the taking. Like, England could have beat France, and England. I think if England had beaten France, England, I think, would have won the World Cup. I don't think, even though Argentina were on an unbeaten run, I don't think Argentina would have been good enough to beat England with Messi. I don't think so. Even though it was Messi's tournament, I don't think Argentina would have. I think England would have marked him really well. I think Harry Kane probably would have shown why he's a big striker in terms of goals, even though he's a big game bottler. He definitely bottled that against France when it mattered with the second penalty. Goals get you games, and Harry Kane was delivering in that tournament for England, and Jude Bellingham was really exciting for England. I think when you look at it, if England had beaten France, then I think England would have won the World Cup in Qatar. I don't know if they'll have another better chance. I don't think England will. I'm saying this now. This is nothing to do with bias, by the way. I'm going to be very fair when it comes to our predictions for the European Championships. I don't think England get past the quarterfinals.
To be fair, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I'm just very quickly getting up as well, and this is sort of to both reinforce our points as well, is I've got all of England's past couple of groups from their last few major tournaments. And let me just grab the last one very quickly. There we go. So If we start with the 2022 World Cup, England, USA, Iran, Wales, no matter which way you look at it, that is an extremely easy group.
Yeah, they did get
And
outplayed
this
by
is saying it
USA,
as a
which is mental.
Welshman who basically our team didn't turn up at the World Cup. I mean, we lost to Iran, so at the end of the day, we were probably the second best on par with the USA, and the fact that the US actually did decent against them as well is something to be shouted at. But once again, that's an easy group with not really much of a test. Push it back to Euro 2020, probably the hardest one that they had. So at the end of the day, all of their matches were at Wembley, so that's basically a free pass, including playing against Scotland as well.
Only team that they failed to score against in the Euros was Scotland.
It was. So that one you've got to give
a
a buy, and that's probably what pushed them over to the finals as well there. And getting a result against Croatia as well is very, very good.
Especially when you look at it, that was a game where obviously their pride's kicking in, because obviously they lost the semi-finals to Croatia as well, where
they did.
It was a very even contest. It was an even match.
It was, and they knew that they had that bit of extra quality and experience that they didn't have in 2018. And speaking about 2018, look at how easy this one was. Belgium, England, Tunisia, and Panama. Yet they still finished second in that group.
To be fair, Belgium at that time were definitely the strongest side.
Oh,
I mean, they were really kicking on, like, as a team. But again, Belgium are Belgium. We knew Belgium weren't going to do anything anyway, and it says a lot when they were. Belgium's best performance in the whole tournament was what? Brazil.
I think so, yeah.
I'm sure they battered Brazil. What, 3-0? Neymar didn't get a sniff. I think he was too busy looking for his sister. But
yeah, 2-1.
Still battered them. Because like Brazil had nothing, and I think Neymar spent a total of 15 minutes on the deck, just diving about. So I was like, no wonder Brazil.
That was the diving World Cup.
Yeah, it was so bad. That side though that England had in 2018 though, when you look at it back to front, it's a very dynamic side. It's very like they played a 3-1-4-2.
Yeah.
And what's mad is just how good like the likes of Ashley Young was. He was consistent for them in that tournament. Like, they had a decent side, and I will credit one thing Gareth Southgate did do really well for England in that tournament is it wasn't just the style they played, but it was the ability to transition certain players into different roles. Like transitioning Kyle Walker from a right back to a right centre back was very clever.
Oh yeah.
Like Southgate doesn't play the best football, but when it comes to certain tactical decisions, he does get those ones right. It's just the one thing that lets him down in matches is the ability to change it. Like for example, like when we speak about the Italy game, for example, they were 1-0 up, they were coasting it. First of all, you should never be coasting 1-0 against the Italians. That's an insult to the Italians. If you're going to beat Italy, you fucking beat them. You don't take the piss. You don't take the piss out of them. You take the piss out of the Italians. They're going to fight back and they're going to hit you hard. What Chiellini did, for example, to Saka says a lot. Saka was taking the piss out of him the whole game, so he's like, "Fine, you're going to come at me one more time. I'm going to yank you by the throat." And obviously, got him by the shirt, got him by the throat. At that point, yanked him back. Italy get the equaliser. When you look at it though, in that game, if he had made the Rashford and the Sancho changes maybe 25 minutes sooner than what he did, then you've got a good chance of beating the Italians, because it was too late for them to even get into the game. Another thing as well, this is something I cannot blame Southgate for. After that final as well, what was it, a couple of days later, it came out saying certain players didn't want to take a penalty for him. Like, I don't care what manager you are, if you've got players telling you they're not going to take a penalty when it's do or die for a trophy, how are you going to win?
Exactly, but I think at the end of the day, the reason that those players are doing that is there's one thing that is wrong with surrounding the England national team, and that is the English media.
Oh yeah,
sort of the pressure, the arrogance,
because it's a good team,
the disrespect. It's a very
It's a
good
very
team,
good
but
team.
what makes it so dislikable is the media.
Yeah.
And just like, I just think the
The way
lack
that
of
they
respect.
describe
I know, like it's coming home every 5 minutes. Oh, it's coming. Oh, they play one pass. Oh, it's coming home.
I like how certain
No, keep your mouth
media.
shut, and that's what they should do. They need to keep their mouth shut and move it through.
I've got no
Stay
problem
humble.
with me. Yeah, like, I've got no issue with media say hyping up certain players like Harry Kane's.
Yeah,
Like for example, if the media came out, for example, said Harry Kane's the best striker in the world, could he lead England to Euros or World Cup glory? You would actually buy into that sort of message because one, Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in the world, and two, he is leading an England line. He could technically lead them to that trophy. Will he or won't he? That's the question. But it's about how you present it. And there's some fans who really fucking got on my nerves during the Euros. I mean, like our watch-alongs, for example, all like the Italy watch-along versus Turkey. The amount of comments we got about it's coming home for England was fucking annoying. I was like,
it was.
yeah, we're coming to England, but this is not England's game. This is the Italians' game. Like, come on.
And that's another.
But I think it's.
I mean, Doug's hit it on the head, but another thing I'd like to add to that as well, I think, is the coverage. I mean, obviously,
It's
you've
not all
got
of them, but it's some. It's not all of them. It's not all the England fans, but it's some. And I feel sorry for the good portion of England fans because to be fair, we all know good England fans. Like we all do. And when they talk about their nation, you want to hear some national pride. Just like if I'm talking about what I've got, or if you're talking about Wales, like you want a little bit of pride. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're going, oh, we've got the best team in the world, like we're going to go and beat everybody 4-5-0, we're going to turn up and we're going to beat everyone, we're going to do it this way and we're going to win the tournament. I'm like, all right then, how about we just give you a full strength? How about we give you a full strength Spanish team and we'll see how you cope. Let's see if your entitled goes in. Like, some fans need to be made humble, and there's some fans that are already humble and they enjoy watching their national team play. Because let's be real, this is probably in terms of harmonious squad. This is the most harmonious England squad in my lifetime.
I think so.
They've never been. But I do think, and I wonder, with all the talk that's coming out for Southgate at the moment, with his future going into Euros, post Euros, I think there's something very wrong with that England camp. I think it's now starting to get where he's now having to come out and he's now having to talk about his future when he's preparing for the Euros, as he said. It's now going to creep in saying, is he actually committed to this? Is he committed to actually going to try and win us something in Germany? Like, that's creeping in. Also, as well, his comments about certain players after the game. He never does that. I mean, when was the last time Gareth Southgate literally came out about his players?
Never.
Especially when he said Harry Kane should have done a little bit more. I'm like, wow. Like, when was the last time that happened?
I mean, at the end of the day, that's like we've seen before. He sort of got this protectivism over his players, and when they crashed out against Croatia, he was saying how basically bigging them up and everything. He was being really humble about it, which is very good. And you don't see that often in a manager, but I think this Southgate now coming into this tournament, seeing the tools that he's got, he's sort of going like, right, no nonsense now. We're going to win a trophy.
Yeah, he's basically said, I've got one of the 2 or 3 best attacking midfield players in Europe for their age. I've got one of the world's best strikers. I've got arguably one of the best holding midfielders in world football. One of them, not the best, that's still Rodri, but still one of the best in Declan Rice. And everyone knows I'm still not a fan of Declan Rice, but I have to give flowers where it matters. He's got a consistent defence. He's got arguably the best right back in football in Kyle Walker. But when you look at it, there's still... What's weird, you look at that squad on paper. For example, England versus... I'm just going to say England versus Wales, right? This is no me picking on Wales or anything. I'll say Scotland in a minute.
Yeah.
England should walk into a match versus Wales right now. On paper, you should be getting beat 5-6-7-0. And that is not me insulting Wales. Scotland are a decent team. We just got beat 4-0 after the Netherlands.
Yeah.
If England played us right now, we would get 5 or 6 put past us.
Yeah.
Like, that England team should have the mentality of being mentality monsters, walk in a game and go, all right then, you seen our lineup? You seen our bench?
At the
just
end
gonna
of the day, as we've seen before, they need to go into these games thinking that they're playing like a Tunisia or something, and
Like,
they
just
can
go in and
really bring
smash
across
'em.
that comfort where they're just so comfortable on the ball, playing with flair, and that
That's what
chemistry
worries
is
me.
there as well. But
That's
they just seem
That's what
petrified.
worries me. Like, that's what worries me as a football fan. If this England team develops that,
Yeah.
if they develop that, it's going to be very hard to stop them. And that includes when Germany are fully back up to speed after humiliating France. That's when France are good to go for the Euros. Portugal, we don't know what Belgium's going to be like, but Belgium are looking good. Italy are still a mixture, but they're still European champions.
Yeah.
You can't discredit the European
I mean,
champions.
Portugal are going to look dangerous as well after their transition period, which is
Yeah.
fully gone through now.
Yeah. So this is not me bringing down England, even though I don't like them. This is me actually being in a slight fear of England at the minute, because if they
Yeah.
do develop that killer instinct, and it bleeds through the whole team, doesn't matter how they look on a field, whether it be a 3-man midfield or a 2-1 pivot, or even if in certain games they decide to play a back 3 because it's defensively resolute, and I think England are so much better in a back 3 than a back 4 in my opinion. But what we see when England play a certain way though, when they get confidence and it reflects, the annoying thing is they are actually very good to watch.
Yeah.
And I admit it, I've watched certain England games recently where I've went, you know what, actually I like watching this. It's nice. Like you can't help but be honest. And if you're not on it, if you cannot be honest about that, even though it's not your national team, then there's something seriously wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like you can't lie. Like, you cannot watch when England are playing really good football. You cannot say this team is brilliant to watch. That's like being a Bayern Munich fan, but Borussia Dortmund are playing beautiful football. You hate it, but you have to admit it. They're playing good football. Or a Real Madrid fan that sees Barcelona play scintillating attacking football. You've got to be honest. I'm a Milan fan. I have to be honest about Inter. They're fucking brilliant right now. Like, Man United, with Man City, like, it's painful, but it's good to watch. You have to be honest. Like, and that's a big reflection. And I think when you look at it, England, are, in my opinion, are in the top 3 favourites for the Euros. For me, I'm still saying Germany. You can't write
Germany
off
have to be favourites as host at the end of the day.
There's something
Especially
about
with the
Germany.
talent in there.
Yeah, and there's something about homegrown tournaments for Germany where they always do well. Germany, England, and France are my top 3 favourites, and then there's Portugal just outside.
Yeah.
Belgium, they'll be somewhere, but I don't know. I think it's going to be quite scary. I don't know what Holland are going to be like. Just because they beat Scotland 4-0 doesn't mean they're convincing. I still don't think they are that good.
They're 50-50 for me.
Yeah,
they're either going to have the tournament of their lives or they're going to be absolutely shocking. And that's what they've been like for the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's the Dutch in a nutshell. Speaking of the Dutch, though, we will move on to that game. And then we'll come on to Wales. Then we'll do Germany versus France. But obviously, Scotland versus Holland. Obviously, it's in Amsterdam. Scotland haven't won in Amsterdam since 1959. So Scotland's record in Holland is dreadful.
Yeah,
it definitely reflected at the weekend because I thought the lineup was decent for Scotland. I thought our lineup was decent when you look at it on paper. The problem was though is we've now, for the first time since 07-08, we've now went 6 games without winning a match. That winless run is now 6 matches on the bounce. It's creeping in, going into the Euros where we're definitely not in the best of form, but also it's the problem as well of like certain players. Now I like Lawrence Shankland. I rate Lawrence Shankland. He was shite up front. Like, he was actual pish. And I'm actually saying the fact is maybe we should have started Lyndon Dykes ahead of him. I think maybe Shankland should have come off the bench. And I feel sorry for Shankland in that way because obviously I wanted him to get a chance. But I think it's a reflection of the fact that Lyndon Dykes is so used to the Scotland setup that I get it. Steve Clarke wants to trial certain players going to Euros.
Yeah.
People are fighting hard for their
But
position.
the question is, though, when you've got such a big friendly like the Netherlands, is now the time to really test it with Shankland?
No,
Because I don't think it is. You got to go through and test it with Lyndon Dykes. I mean, he's been bang average with QPR this season, but QPR have been going down the toilet for like the last 5 years. But I mean, you just got to go for tried and tested. He turns up for Scotland. That's the thing.
Yeah. I also think as well, I know I'm going to sound a little bit hypocritical by saying we shouldn't have gave Shankland a start. We should have done it with Shankland, but I still don't know why he didn't start Lewis Ferguson.
Yeah.
I think Lewis Ferguson's been absolutely exquisite for Bologna, and he's been up there in terms of creativity. Like his passing numbers are insane, his work rate's incredible. I would have started him personally in one of the midfield, because obviously he plays 2 10s. I would have played Ferguson in one of those roles behind the striker, and he didn't. He played him off the bench.
Another question as well is, would you say that having a Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore in midfield, is that a bit negative for you as well? Or have you got a bit more box-to-box in there?
I think it's both of them are I think both of them are the exact same role. Both box-to-box midfielders. But obviously, McTominay's given more license to go up and score, but obviously Callum McGregor was injured.
Yeah.
But even by that standard, I don't think Billy Gilmore is a holding player. I think we really missed a holding midfield talent in there. It really let us down not having a holding midfielder. Because it then our defense then got exposed.
Yeah.
We really struggled after that, and that really didn't help me in that sense. Hella's comment saying Scotland have played so much better than they did against the Netherlands. Scotland had a poor game. I'm not convinced the Dutch were that good. The one thing they did do really well, Holland, though, against Scotland was, unlike Scotland, because we had some chances where we should have scored. When the Dutch created a chance, you can see that they were actually going to score. Like, it looked evident that every time they had the ball, they were going to score. When you look at the lineups, for example, Julio's actually quite lucky he's not on tonight because Sweden beat Albania 1-0 tonight.
That's a poor result for Albania going into the Euros.
So Julio, if you're watching, mate, hard luck. You lost. I'm trying to find the internet. Where the fuck? Why is it not showing me the international friendlies on my phone? Why is not? Come on, I'm on Sky Sports. Behave. Where's my international friendlies? Give me my international friendlies, you bellends. There we go. Yes, there we go. It's mental that Croatia went 0-0 with Tunisia for 90 minutes and Croatia beat them 5-4 on penalties. Oh, only Croatia would win a friendly on penalties. I've got the France game there for next. That's fine, because obviously we're coming to that in a minute. Ugh, you're taking the absolute... Defensively, you're usually a lot more solid. No, you're right. We usually are, but in this case, we weren't. We don't have a good record since Holland went. Funnily enough, ever since the Dutch went pro in 1959, we've struggled. Like we just cannot seem to beat them. We had the same amount of shots as them as well. That's the worst thing. 13 shots apiece.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Reichender's obviously scored. They had 6 shots on target. We had 2. They had more possession. They only had 67 more passes than us, but their pass accuracy was only a percentage higher. Like it was, like that was it. I do rate one thing though. The fact is that they actually went back to a 4-3-3. I've been advocating that for a while for the Dutch to go back to the back 4, and they did it.
Look at the success that they bring through with it though. I mean, that's what the Dutch were renowned for, is the 4-3-3. They need to get away from the 5 at the back.
I know. Obviously, we played a 3-4-3. That's 3-4-2-1, but that suits us.
Yeah.
So we'll do our lineup first, and then we'll come back to the Netherlands. So this is our. So obviously, when you look in a nutshell, so Angus Gunn has been decent in goal, but obviously that's his worst that's his worst performance. Ryan Porteous, Jack Hendry, and Kieran Tierney is the three centre backs. Ryan Patterson, I wish it was Nathan Patterson and Andy Robertson as wing backs. McTominay, Gilmore in the two central midfield positions. John McGinn and Ryan Christie, both left footers as well, which doesn't help, playing as the two wide 10s, and then
Disaster.
Shankland up front. Yeah, me personally, John McGinn, I would have played him ahead of Ryan Christie, because Christie's always been good coming off the bench. Then I would have put Ferguson as the right attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
And I would have played, in terms of midfield, I would have played maybe Kenny McLean beside McTominay.
Another question as well. Could you maybe move John McGinn into the middle and then let me start again. Put John McGinn in the middle and then play Lon Shankland and also Che Adams up front.
Potentially.
Play the two up front. I think that could have worked. And then use Robertson and Patterson overlapping.
Yeah, because that means we would have the midfield control there of Gilmore as the holder and then McTominay, McGinn, and then Christie still off the bench.
Yeah.
Or even Ryan Christie as a centre forward, because Ryan Christie has played well in that position as well for Bournemouth.
Yeah,
he certainly has that. I also think as well, theoretically, this is why it's annoying that bastard Anthony Gordon has decided that he doesn't want to play for Scotland. Prick. This would have been good for him, where we could have played a 3-4-3.
Yeah.
Christie, Shankland, and then theoretically we could have played like Christie here, Gordon,
Anthony
Shankland,
Gordon, yeah.
Christie, Patterson, same role, McTominay, McGinn, Robertson, and then this back three. Would have worked, or even I don't know why. The thing is, though, I still don't think it works having Robertson and Tierney in the same team. I think we need to look at a back four.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. What's his name wasn't in the squad? The right back that plays for Brentford.
Oh, what's his name? Oh my god.
That's my fault for having shit memory for names. But you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name. Oh god.
It's because I've not seen Brentford play in a while, and I've not watched that for about.
Nathan Collins.
No, Scottish boy.
Oh my god, I've had a clanger. One of those days.
Nathan Collins is Irish.
He is. I completely messed that up.
It's not Ralston. It's not Ralston.
I don't know.
This is the problem when your heat goes. Hickey. That's it. Aaron Hickey.
Aaron
I don't
Hickey,
know why
yeah.
he was in the squad. He's always been consistent in the Scotland team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm at the point now where I really want Scotland to go to a back four.
Yeah.
I know we're used to a back three for so long, but seriously, we need to go to a back four. If he's so insistent on playing Kieran Tierney in defence, then just play Robertson Tierney as a left-sided centre back, and there's your left-sided parent. Just recruit another left back into the team. Patterson etc. competing with Hickey at right back, or Ralston. Greg Taylor was on the bench. There's a left back, so we could have feasibly done it. Hendry, Tierney. Then I would have actually. This is what I should have done. I think Scotland should have played the 4-2-3-1, and I'm actually going to vamp it right now. So I would have done. Where's that squad thing? A squad builder. 'Cause this is what I would have done. I'm going to get Doug to hate me in a minute, but that's okay.
Now I should clip this and send it to Doug.
I think if Doug's still watching, he's going to come after me in a minute. So I'm going to do it off screen just to prove a point, and then I'll bring it on screen once it's been done. Because I think it's at that time where Scotland just need to be. I'm not saying that we're not.
They need to be more clinical, really.
Yeah. So I would have went. Because he has a Dyke, Lyndon Dykes.
Speaking about Albania, which we were discussing earlier, look who's just turned up.
Yes, Albania
man.
got beat by Sweden, mate.
It is.
So hard luck. Yeah, just making sure we've got it. There's something else I want to look at. 1 second. Since we're so insistent on playing, if we're not going to play a 4-2-3-1, that's fine. I've actually got a better system. I've actually got a better system in mind. This actually does work. Since he likes playing the 2 10s, I'm going to stick with that. I'm actually going to play something a little more enjoyable. I think people would like this. So I'm going to drop Christie to the bench. Because again, I think he's a great impact player.
Yeah.
So you've got something. So I've chosen a 4-3-2-1, which I think is reasonably effective. So I just need to get, just based on who was actually in the squad at the time. So this is just from the squad at the weekend. So just putting the fullback slightly ahead, because everyone knows I like to do that. But when you look at the actual teams, so I would have done, I'm not bothered about kit numbers, I'm not going to change that. I just want it to reflect.
Team, here we go.
I would have done that versus France. Not France, Netherlands. That's what I would have done.
So
I'll zoom in just a little bit. 2 seconds.
I like that.
This is what I would have done. I want to see Scotland doing this more often. Like, I'm sick of, like, it's not that we're bad in a back three. I don't mind it. But I would have done it. Obviously, McLean's in the squad. Obviously, I don't want McLean in the team. I would have done something else. But theoretically, if it was Hickey at right back, I think Hickey's our best right back. But he was in the squad. But I think Patterson is slightly better than Ralston. But when you look at it, Gilmore in a holding role, McTominay is in a free midfield role, box to box, and then McLean can just do some defensive work. McGinn, Ferguson doing the 10 roles, because that's what he does. There, now you can actually see it as well. They're 2 10s. And then Dyke's up top, and then Shanklin could come off the bench. Again,
plays a diamond, I like that.
In a way, a 4-3-2-1. It does work. Like, it gives a little bit of control. Maisie, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Tomorrow's a new day. Reece, did you slag me off and call me a bottle job? No, I didn't say bottle job this time.
No, it wasn't bottle job this time.
But theoretically, I know that's ambitious telling Scotland to go and play a 4-3-2-1, but theoretically, I want Scotland to at least, we can play a midfield three. Obviously, I would change some personnel. Like, if I was a Scotland manager, I'd certainly have a few players. Dykes would be in my team immediately. It was not even a bloody joke. He should have started because he's been Bologna's best player. and he's a top target for several of Europe's top clubs. Like, that's just what I'm thinking. Like, that's what I would have done. Would you change any of that?
For me, I don't think I would. It's hard to
I
say
understand
because
people
I'm
would.
trying to think of like it from a Wales perspective as well, whether you're similar to us because we also play the back five as well, which
You
we've
do.
basically forever been renowned with. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think with Robertson and Tini, for me, just screams out not to work.
Yeah, I'd rather a left-sided centre
That's the
back.
one thing that I can't stand. Left-sided centre back, pair it with Jack Hendry. Well, that would be nice and secure. But aside from that,
Nah, Nathan, you play a back seven.
to be fair, you're not wrong at times with Rob Page's tactics. But you know, in all fairness to him, which we'll get on, which we'll discuss in a bit, he absolutely smashed it on Thursday. To be fair to him,
He did. Team Wales won, Nathan. Yep, Wales did.
one
Very
more
good
game to go.
result. We are
Exceptional
going to
result.
talk Wales. We are going to talk Wales. We're going to end the closing segment of the international football. We're going to end it with Germany versus France. But we are going to talk Wales. So, my man, I'm going to throw this. If you want to share stuff, by all
Brilliant.
means, it's over to you, sir. And I'll be generous to you, even though I'm hosting.
Mhm.
I'm going to give you, sir,
Brilliant.
screen.
I think, in fact, on that as well, if I'm able to get it. Oh, no, I've just opened my streaming software. I was meant to share screen. Oh, this is going to be fun. Hang on a sec, lads. But yeah, what an occasion it was. Go on.
See, just for that alone. I'm going to do this for you, mate. Just for you. Let's see. Not that one. Today's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Hold that out. Hold that, Julio. Hold that.
Biggest bottling ever.
Oh, can I also say as well, see in terms of stats, it was only 0.5% possession difference between Sweden and Albania.
Mm-hmm.
And you have completely disappeared.
Can't you
Let's
see?
fix
There,
it.
there we go.
There
Yeah,
we
I'll pop the share screen back. Oh, where's it gone?
Yep, so we'll go to Spotlight, and then hopefully it brings up the two. There we go. And
There
you've
we
got
go.
Top side. You've got top honours.
Lovely jubbly. So yeah, this is the system we played with in that 4-1 win. And if I'm honest with the way that we played as well, we could have won about 6 or 7.
It's the same
Our
lineup
renowned
as us.
5 at the back. Ben Davis, so comfortable as a left-sided centre-back. And for me, I have no complaints. And honestly, Rob Page absolutely smashed it.
Oh, great comment. So
Great
we'll come to Julio's comment in a second. That's spot on.
In a way, I find I do disagree with that a little bit. And this is the one thing I will say, and in particular about not so much Maisie, but this is from other fans in the last couple of years who have said that, oh, Wales, we shouldn't be disappointed that we're not qualifying for these tournaments, or we're doing well for our situation. In my personal opinion, we are not in a transition period at all.
That's a good point.
That's a very good point. I agree. The fact that we didn't qualify automatically was an absolute disgrace.
We were going to do it as a watch along. By the way, for the European Championships, the World of Football podcast will be doing watch alongs for Scotland games, Wales games. We are going to be doing some England games, so if any England fans want to join us, we will be doing those watch-alongs. Mm-hmm. We will be unbiased, don't worry, we're not going to slag your team off. Probably hope you lose, but we'll do it respectfully. But we'll certainly be doing this. We will be doing those watch-alongs over the summer. Carry on, I'm just going to bring up these comments.
It's a disgrace if we don't qualify, quite frankly. And trust me, there has been a lot of fans saying this, in particular England fans as well, not to stereotype it, but I think in general non-Wales fans have come up with this sort of narrative, like little old Wales are failing again and all this and all that. But at the end of the day with it, no. Neutral. Maisie,
roughly how long ago, Nathan? About 20 minutes? 30 minutes ago? How long would you say?
We were singing England's praises.
Yeah, Maisie, rewind about 25, 30 minutes. We were actually praising England.
Yeah.
Genuinely,
Something that never has happened
praising
before
England.
from us.
What's this? No lads trips to Germany to do bar watch along. Dude, I would have, but because I've taken 2 weeks off the end of April, it started May for the tax the tax year ending because I'm going to be drained from work. I've only got like 8 days left of holidays for work. I got 2 days back. So I might have a bit of time to go to Germany, but I don't know if we'll be able to go, mate. But we're going to be doing the channel watch-alongs anyway. Like, we're going to have fun. Going to cause a fuss.
Mm-hmm.
Old school style. But I'm not doing Scotland versus Germany.
I think you'd have to be neutral on that one. How much you love them.
3-4 day trip. Who says no? We'll see. To be fair, what we praised is the quality you actually do have coming through.
Yeah.
Irrespective of your manager. We actually did praise the quality you've got, and if you could just be bothered to play attacking football, and you actually just had a killer factor where you just went fuck every team we play, we would do it. Like, you would rip teams apart. So like there is a circumstance, like we did praise the quality you've got. The kickoff for the Euros,
I think it's the 3rd week of June.
Germany versus Scotland, Euro 24 is obviously the opening match.
Yeah.
June 14th. It's an 8:00 kickoff.
Nice.
At Leipzig Stadium. And I'm getting both. I'm getting the games. I'm getting the shirts anyway. Can the FA have some balls and give Don Carlo an 8-game contract for the Euros? No, because you're an Albanian fan. You behave. Oh, Julio, did you see a WSO fan wearing a half and half shirt for Wolfsburg?
That's great.
I had people trying to give me half and half scarves and shirts for Liverpool versus England, Liverpool versus Man United. And I was like, you can fuck off. I was like, that's not happening. I was like, how ill do you want me to be? You're welcome. In terms of matches, I will bring up we are going to be doing predictions. So if you want to come on our prediction stream for this, we're going to be doing predictions. When you look at, I can't believe I want to open a fucking calendar. Oh wow, I'm actually opening a calendar. Right, so when you look at fixtures, fucking, you behave, you pixel cunt.
I'd probably say it's going to be week commencing the 3rd of June or the 27th of May.
Yeah.
Just looking at it now.
Our standard streams are on Spotify are 3 hours, but
yeah,
we are going to have to really clamp it. We'll make the effort, of course. We are going to make the effort. So yeah, 3rd to the 9th, 10th to the 16th, 15th is so the first game is a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Like Basque have now have an international team in Catalonia. That's a good point. We'll certainly get something out of that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We will have fun. We will have fun. Days. I swear my phone's gonna get fucking turned into Thanos at this rate. Like it's just not behaving. But yeah, the week of the 3rd of June, we'll do our predictions. So if you want, and we are going to do the full thing. So we are going to do our group stages. We are going to try and predict the actual last 16, the quarterfinal, semi-final, final. We're going to try and do it. I don't know. Like we'll put a tenner between each other. Like me, Nathan, who the winner gets a tenner or something. But if anyone wants to tune in, get involved, let us know. That'll be in June. We have got 5 people watching on YouTube, 4 on X, Twitter, whatever we want to call it. Of course, get your comments in. We would love to have your input. Thank you very much. And please do like, share, and subscribe. Anyway, Nathan, carry on with your analysis of Wales.
Yeah, where was I? I think I was at the bit with this sort of supposed transitional period that people are saying. And for me, we don't have that at all, because no disrespect to Gareth Bale, but when we crashed out of the World Cup in 22, there's no transition period there. You're losing one player. Admittedly, he's our greatest ever player, but I mean, look at the team that you had around him. Compare that to your 2016 squad.
Yeah.
For me, there's no difference. If not, you could say that the 2016 squad had a few more Premier League and elite players, but look at the squad we've got now, and how young these players are, and how comfortable they are as well, in the Premier League quality that you've got in there. And pushing into 2026, this squad is going to be ridiculous. I mean, Ampadu and Jordan James were just absolutely incredible. Ampadu just running all of Jordan James.
Yeah,
Brum City.
Really? He's actually he's actually quite decent. Like, not gonna lie,
he's been incredible. And the best thing is, as well, I'm pretty sure he's younger than Jude Bellingham.
Joby mentality as well. Thanks for this comment, because I've got a tweet that I'm going to bring up later on. Everyone's going to piss themselves when I bring it up. Stay tuned. It's an hour into the podcast. After we've done Wales, after we've done Germany versus France, I'm going to bring up a tweet. We're all just going to have a laugh for 5 minutes. Carry on, my man.
But yeah, just the way we scored them, and I think what really benefited us as well was this first goal by Di Brooks. Straight away, going into it from minute dot, straight in, bottom corner, bingo. David Brooks absolutely destroying that defence. I mean, the way that we looked at this Finland team and just absolutely overran them in midfield, just incredible. The pace moving forward from Brooks and Wilson, they could not cope with it. Went through from minute dot, and we just did not stop. Admittedly, the only criticism I do have was that Pukki goal at the 45th minute. The miscommunication there between Chris Mepham and Connor Roberts was absolutely terrible. And ultimately, Nico Williams, that goal was ridiculous. And his performance in general as well, the way he's been playing from left back. And bearing in mind, he's been played out of position as well. Like, how can you be that good when you're on the other side of your position? It's incredible. If I had my choice, I would drop Connor Roberts because I don't rate him as a player. I know people are going to say I am biased to that, but I just don't rate him. Same if we can really fizzle out Chris Mepham as well, because I wasn't really impressed by him either. But even some of the players that we had on the bench, like the young firepower coming in, when Kiefer Moore came on, he was a bit of a walking yellow card. Very unlucky not to get a goal in the game as well. But moving on, if we play exactly the same as we did against Finland, we are going to absolutely steamroll Poland. However, the only thing that makes me nervous is we haven't beaten them since 1973. So our record there is absolutely dire. But yeah, Rob Page changed up his tactics. Instead of the old lump it up to Kiefer Moore every 5 seconds. Oh, we got a bit of possession. Stick it on Kiefer Moore's head. Oh, foul against Wales. But now we're actually using the technical ability that these players have, and just how comfortable they are on the ball, and absolutely fantastic, to be fair. Absolutely over the moon with it. And yeah, I can't stop singing Wales' praises at the moment, but we just got to keep it up.
I'd love to say one thing in greatest respect. Now, that scoreline says 4-1. I'm going to declare it 3-1.
Yeah.
Because fuck the person who scored your 4th goal. I've always hated them.
You have.
Just saying. Just saying.
Do you want one thing to make it a bit easier as well?
Yeah.
It was on the counter-attack. He was the only man, and he rounded Hiradeki.
So basically, what got him the Man United move in the first place?
Yeah.
Bastard.
I know.
I just don't rate them. I've never rated them. Those names on the score sheet, you have decent players. You need the right guy. League 2 manager managing a good generation of Welsh talent.
And another thing that I can't stand as well.
Thoughts on that?
Not in the squad.
Interesting. Jamal Musiala.
Quality player. I actually signed him for my Cardiff save on Football Manager the other day.
Him and Jude Bellingham are the two best. They're the two best attacking midfield players for their age. Like, no one comes close to those two. They're so bloody good. They're so good.
But yeah, I mean, going back to Maisie's comment, I think he has had a call-up recently, Josh Da Silva, but at the end of the day, there's too much competition for him to get in this team at the moment, and especially when you have other... he plays at left back, doesn't he? Left back, left wing back.
To be fair, just a general question.
Yeah.
Now, Ben Davies is fair reliable for Wales.
Yeah.
But would you do a similar situation of what Scotland do with Tierney and Robertson? It seems to be inevitable that Scotland we play the same system as you, although I think we should change it a little bit. We play the same system, but we play a left back at left centre back. It allows Robertson to stay in the left wing back role or left midfielder role.
Yeah.
Would you drop Nico Williams into left centre back to play De Silva, or De Silva ahead of Davies?
For me, neither. I think the way that it's worked as well, the fact that Nico Williams has been being played out of position is fantastic, but with the way he is on the ball and the way he can move it forward, we have to have Nico Williams in that position, because otherwise the creativity.
In that role?
He's far more effective at the wing back with Davis behind him. Because I think as well.
Is he left footed or right footed?
I don't actually know.
I was going to say, because if he's right footed, why not just move him across? As you clearly don't rate Connor Roberts, and I completely agree with you. Why not just bounce Roberts to the bench and then put De Silva on the left and Williams on the right? If he's left footed, then obviously don't do it. It's stupid.
Potentially.
I'm gonna check if he's actually. I'm gonna double check actually. Let's have a look.
Because at the end of the day, Connor Roberts, I don't know how he keeps getting picked. I don't know whether it's like because there's no one else in his position, but he's had some really poor games recently. Whereas there's been a bit of smugness there as well, and Page does like to have his favourites.
Is that seriously? No way.
Go on.
His birthday's a day after mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I share the same day with Eric Bailly, bastard. Van de Beek is 7 days younger than me, and he's a waste of a footballer. And Nico Williams is a day and 4 years is 1 day 4 years younger. What a bastard! Okay, let's see. He plays fullback. We got that, or wing back. I want to know what foot he is.
But yeah, with the Ben Davies situation as well, I think since forever he's been in that squad, he's always been better in a back five at that left centre back role than pushing forward, just because of the pace that we use at wing backs. And obviously Ben Davies, he's got a bit of pace, but he is lacking.
You're doing a spin at Zola. That's what you're doing. You're doing a spin at Zola.
Yeah.
Who's now back playing as a left wing back for Italy, because they've now went back to a 3-4-2-1. Spalletti's dropped the back four. Let's see, what's Nathan? Julio says, Nathan, I will be there if we make a Nathan's World Cup squad video. I mean, he meant Euros. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I'll stick Brennan Johnson in any day of the week and Harry Wilson.
We're going to do something like that for the Euros for our respective teams, and we're going to do one for some teams. We'll do one for Portugal, we'll do one for England, and we'll do one for France. Fuck Belgium. Maisie says, in all seriousness, how the fuck is Pookie still about? I swear I didn't hear him for years till he scored. That's a good point.
He plays for Minnesota United. That's all you need to know.
Oh, give us strength.
And the funniest thing as well, aside from Hirodeki, he's literally the only notable player in that squad, aside from maybe Kamara.
I can't wait for him. Just leave the Finland team there just for a moment, because I want Maisie to completely slander this. There's a reason I want Maisie to slander this. We all know Maisie hates the 4-4-2. So Maisie, please assault just don't assault Glenn Kamara. That's all I ask. Just don't assault Glenn Kamara, but destroy the rest. I'll wait to see if Maisie actually comments on the 4-4-2.
Here's another question I got for you as well, Reece. If you were in Rob Page's shoes, unlucky, would you start Brendan Johnson or Kiefer Moore tomorrow night?
I would start. Oh, scroll up. I don't know about you. You might not like this. I would move Harry Wilson to the right.
Yeah.
Push him into a right wing role. I would put Brennan Johnson as a left winger, and I would put Kiefer Moore through the middle. I would drop David Brooks to the bench against Poland.
That's interesting.
And it's not because I don't rate Brooks. I think against Poland, I think it's wiser to hit them with natural, like with wingers instead of wide 10s.
Yeah.
So I would push Harry Wilson into a right wing role, Brennan Johnson out to the left wing, and then I put Kiefer Moore as a big man. If I was, to be fair, that's
yeah.
I
But
think
yeah, no, go on.
I think in some games it's wise to play the 2 wide 10s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in some games, like Scotland and Wales, do the exact same thing. There's some opponents where they'll play 2 10s. In some games, they'll play a 3-4-3. I would go 3-4-3, and I would play Wilson, Kiefer Moore, Brennan Johnson.
Yeah.
And I would put Nico Williams on the right hand side and drop Roberts and find a left wing back who's actually left footed.
Because I think that could benefit us as well moving forwards. Yeah. Oh, it didn't. Yeah. See that's how much I didn't even realise. I completely forgot Jada Silva was on the bench.
Actually, I've just realised what I've done. I'm sorry. I apologise to Kiefer Moore. You don't start for me in a 3-4-3.
Wow.
Wilson, Johnson, Rabi Matondo. Why does he not?
Really?
Why does he not fucking start? You can't tell me with that pace you would shit yourself.
I tell you one thing though, I honestly cannot remember the last time Rabi Matondo has played for Wales.
He's in such good form for Rangers as well. He's finally coming to his own. He's coming to his own as well. And with that pace as well, he's so good. Look at that.
There you are, he's had 11 caps. When was his last cap?
That's insulting. He's coming to his own now, playing as a left winger for Rangers. Like, he's generally coming to his own. You've got him now in an effective position. Nathan on incognito, exactly. Because he's searching up the Wales team.
Always on incognito.
He's on incognito because he's looking up the Wales squad. No surprise. I'd be incognito as well. I'd want to hide that. I want to say 2021. Yeah, probably. It's been a while. Top 10 day insights, mate. You're being recommended. He won his last of his Wales 2022.
22.
Was the last time he had a cap was 2022. Macy said, Nathan, what's your thoughts on Charlie Savage? Should he be called up for Wales? Asks Maisie.
He's a great young talent. I just think with the amount of midfielders that we got at the moment, not yet. But he's very close to getting there. But then again, I still think that Ramsey and Colwell have to be called up over him.
Colwell, yes, sure, but why Ramsey? Why Ramsey?
I think Ramsey's just there. Oh yeah, he was on the bench as well. God, this goes to show how much. At the end of the day, last Thursday I was literally like, right, this is the Wales squad. Who knows who's on the bench? Let's just go for it. But yeah, Ramsey's there for just the moral support, to be honest. But I'll keep going on about this, right? Why was Savage on the bench? Why was Liam Cullen on the bench? And why was Josh Sheehan on the bench when Ruben Colwell wasn't there?
I rate Liam Cullen. But I do agree, why was Colwell not on the team when he is excellent?
He is. More Rob Page naive tactics.
Yeah, I don't understand it myself, I don't get it.
But the only reason I don't rate the Kilgetty Messi is literally because a few years ago he was just slaughtered by Mark Harris. Both are in the squad, and he's just too inconsistent at the championship for me.
Sorry, man. I just had to enjoy that comment. That was beautiful.
I mean, I gotta please the Swansea fans at some point, anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, the last time we played him, 8th of June 22, Wales Netherlands, and ever since then, nothing really. He does.
He's back there. Wait to kill someone with a penalty kick. Right then.
I think that was the last goal he scored, but yeah, he's been out injured for most of the season, to be fair to him.
But you are happy with Wales at the moment, though?
I am, providing that we win tomorrow night. If we lose tomorrow, Page is gone for me.
And your score prediction for tomorrow?
So, have you heard about Poland today?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, their flight was delayed coming into Cardiff. And they've literally only just landed as well.
Oh, yous have got the opportunity to do an Inter Milan versus Barcelona here.
We do.
You've got a good chance here to completely expose them with energy. Make it count.
I think so. To be honest, I'm going to go 2-0 Wales.
Nice.
One by Brennan Johnson, one by Ethan Ampadu.
Nice. Maisie, I would like your predictions for England versus Belgium. I'm going to go to. I'm actually going to go for a shock here.
Mhm.
I'm going to go 3-1 England against Belgium. Even though I do rate the Belgian manager, I'm going to go 3-1 England. Scotland versus Northern Ireland, I'm going to go 1-0 Scotland. I think we'll turn that around. England will lose. Okay. That's interesting. And Germany versus Netherlands, obviously we're about to talk Germany. I think Germany will beat Holland 2-0. There is another mammoth game on tomorrow if anyone wants to watch it at 8:30.
Mhm.
Spain versus Brazil is tomorrow night at 8:30 if anyone wants to watch that. Holy cow. Oh, have yous?
Ooh,
I didn't know
interesting.
Who? Who's picked up injuries? I didn't know this. Here's me being nice and giving you a win as a prediction. Who's got injured then? In the meantime, though, Southgate may need to resort to playing in a back three. I did say I do think yous are better in a back three. I did say that. If he's doing
To be
it,
fair,
it's
trial and
understandable.
error now with the formation could actually benefit them a lot. So why not go for it?
Oh,
Yeah, that's bad if Kyle
they're
Walker's out
big
injured.
losses.
Yeah.
Maguire as well, though, to be fair, he's always been consistent for England. Those are big
especially
losses.
recently.
Yeah, those are big losses. We are going to dive into this game. So I'm going to share my screen on this one because I was actually quite happy with at least one team at the fucking weekend. Apart from who played up front, but he did at least score. He has promoted Rico Lewis and Trafford to the first team.
I could not
Rico
stop
Lewis is a
laughing when I
ball.
saw James Trafford getting called up.
Yeah, that's weird. But Rico Lewis is a baller.
Yeah.
This was an excellent game of the weekend. I don't know if you watched it, mate. That's back to back now. Germany versus France, where Germany have put 2 past in both games.
Mhm.
Only conceded once. That was the game back in November. Germany completely dominated France. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at the chances, one big non-existent player. He was nowhere to be found. Kylian Mbappe.
The
Like,
thing is, I don't know
this-
whether that's an attitude
without-
issue or whether he was just generally having a poor game. Because it
I-
just felt like
I
he
generally thought
couldn't
he
be
was shite.
bothered. Yeah, it just felt like he couldn't be bothered because it was a friendly and had nothing on the
Butland
line.
should have went. Butland should have went, even though he plays for Rangers. I'm just being honest. He's been excellent.
Yeah.
I just like the way that Germany were set up. Like, it looks like Joshua Kimmich is going back to the right back position, and even though he's an amazing defensive midfield player, I've got no problem with that. In terms of the defensive setup, it gave Rudiger a little bit more confidence. Jonathan Tah has been excellent. He's been promoted.
Yep.
Mittelstadt at left back. Yep. Like, I would have preferred another left back, but Mittelstadt's actually having a decent season. Ter Stegen had 2 great goalkeeping performances. This time, Manuel Neuer's not getting back in the team. Like, he's not getting back as a starting goalkeeper for Germany. Like, that's it. He's done.
To be fair, you're not wrong.
What a comment as well.
Comment of the night. Dembele's terrible.
Yep. It was nice to see this man again.
Toni Kroos, yeah.
He made the whole thing tick, especially when he keyed up this guy straight away. Florian Wirtz will go for, unless something happens between now and going forward, Florian Wirtz has scored the fastest ever Germany goal at international level. 7 seconds. And even from the off, Germany looked the better team. They looked more organised. The system benefited them in the way they're going. It worked. See, I kind of disagree in a way with this. The only reason I disagree is because look at that lineup for France. bar Samba and goal, that Zaire Emery is doing really well for PSG. That is a top team for them.
I mean, there's some very good players in that side.
Yeah.
Hernandez as well.
Yeah,
I mean, the
Lucas
front
Hernandez.
three of Dembele, Thuram, and Mbappe. Like,
That's
Mbappe alone should be carrying it. Camavinga coming off the bench.
Mainan's not 100% fit, but still, like, Diaby off the bench didn't come on. Camavinga's there, Giroud, Colomwani, Theo Hernandez, like Jonathan Klaus as a right back ahead of the fact that Koundé played the right back ahead of him. Like, I think it's a reflection of what they've got. Like, this is France in terms of overall depth probably outrank the Germans in my opinion. I'll be honest. When I look at the German team, that's a good German team.
Yeah.
But the French team has been around each other for so long. They should be walking the Germans. Like, David Raum is the left back I would have chosen, but he was on the bench. He was unused. Maximilian Bayer, striker. He's going to be really good. Dennis Undav obviously came off the bench with Füllkrug. They went to a 4-2-2-2 when Muller came on as well. Furyk has been an excellent season for Stuttgart.
Yeah.
But when you look at it in an reflection, this is still a stronger side than this, in my opinion. Toni Kroos was the best player on the field. Like, full on, like, there's just a better team on the field. Yeah, I've seen those comments actually. I was actually going to bring that up. Thanks for reminding me. His exact words. Where is it? Yeah. So Deschamps' words on William Saliba. He is having a good season, but he also does things that I don't like so much. For France, he has limited game time, but when he plays, that hasn't necessarily gone well. So basically, he gets very little game time when he picks him up. Was he basically saying that he's shite, but he doesn't want to say he's shite? I think that Zaire Emery's been really good for PSG, but I think there's other players that you would definitely start. Like, I do think France's best midfield at some stage has to have Camavinga in it as well. Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Rabiot was probably their best midfield.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't know who else you play in that midfield. Like, who did they have on their bench? Midfield-wise, Youssef Fofana. He's pants. Guendouzi's okay.
Yeah, especially fitting in that squad as well.
I do find it's crazy though that he picked the centre-back version of the Hernandez brothers when Hernandez is the best left-back in the world in my opinion.
Yeah, that's an unusual choice, especially for a friendly where you need to be trying out stuff as well, and you know when Germany are going to go for it. That's where it's concerning.
I did say on last week's show that he is Theo Hernandez for me is the best left back in the world, or even left wing back. He is he's just leaps and bounds ahead. Rabiot gives me disgusting shivers down my spine. When he plays for Man United in the next few years, that's when I'll start having shivers.
Yeah.
Painfully, I do think at some point we'll try to sign him again. I hope we don't. I hope his mum gets involved again. But even so, I like the fact that Germany set up really well. Toni Kroos back in a playmaking role. Andrick was in the box-to-box. Well, actually, no, he was playing defensive midfield. Sorry, Toni Kroos was the box-to-box playmaker. Gundogan was playing as the 10. Kai Havertz is no longer playing as a left-back. He was playing as striker. Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz, either flank, were just fucking disgusting. In a good way, they were just fucking disgusting. They just didn't know what to do with them. And credit to Musiala, his assist was beautiful. Apart from Jude Bellingham, he's the best attacking midfielder in the world for me. And Wirtz is just killing it. Yeah, the proper nines are on the bench. That's the weird thing. Germany had 3 strikers on the bench. 1, 2, and 3. Füllkrug, I think, will start the Euros, but I think it's just Kai Havertz's flexibility in his position with his movement. That's why
Even
he
then,
played.
you can even feed Thomas Muller in there just behind him
Yeah, for me
for the
personally,
experience.
if you're looking at it, like Muller is definitely getting on. I think
Yeah.
this team, again, Timo Werner. I don't care. Timo Werner has always delivered when he plays for Germany. Leroy Sané as well, not Serge Gnabry, not even on the bench, says a lot.
Mhm.
But I think going to the World Cup, not the World Cup, sorry, the Euros, Musiala, Wirtz will be the two. Tony Kroos is definitely back in the team until he retires. Andrick, I think, is the preferred role for beside Kroos, and then I think Gundogan's further forward. But for me, I like Gundogan, but I'm not playing him in a role ahead of Musiala. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, I'm playing... Like, I would play Wirtz, Musiala, Sané, Fulkrug as my front four. I don't like Musiala as a winger either. I don't. But he's just a baller.
I mean, considering you got Gundogan in there as well, at the end of the day, can you penalise
I
it
don't
by
really
putting
can.
Musiala on the wing? I think it's the risk worth taking to get that further
Yeah.
depth in the middle.
It just
Because
shows
you know
though,
you
in
know
terms of like
Musiala's going to deliver. That's the thing.
yeah. The one thing that did help them was look at the element of control Germany actually had though. I'm not
Yeah.
one for possession, all that rubbish. But look at the control they actually had. Outpassed them, like more effective. Like when Voller had them against France in November, France were the more dominant team. Germany just picked them off on the counter-attack, but they still passed the ball really well. It says a lot when you bring in Tony Kroos, Germany's best central midfield player since Ballack. You had real good control. See these Muppets? You are 5 years behind me. These Muppets are 5 years behind me. Just saying. You're killing me. You're full on. You're full on killing me. If we played your 4-4-1-1, this is what I would do personally. If it's fully strength squad, let me just completely reset this. Build up. Also, I really need to get my hands on that Germany shirt before I ruin it. Because that's pissed me off. Everyone knows I really do hate that. Like, I hate the fact that fucking Germany have gone to Nike, but we know it's the money.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Nike are just going to take over international football at this rate. And it's going to be awful.
It's so bad. Like, I just don't like it at all. So there's that 4-4-1-1.
It's just all going to be templates forever.
Yeah. And it does look like one of the Germany kits from Italia 90 and all that, and Euro 88. It does have that similar look. But it just doesn't feel German. Like, they've always been... Like, once... Nike will make it look weird. And I'm not a fan of that. I want it to feel right. So, share this tab. This is the one I want. So there's that 4-4-1-1, for example, that Maisie's mentioned. I fucking will be. I will full on like hate. I will just go back to. I will just buy retro German shirts. I'll fail you. I know you would. So it's quite obvious for me right now. This guy's the goalkeeper. It's not even a debate.
Yeah.
Kimmich is now the right back. Seems to be the role. I prefer Raum at left back. Then centre backs. I'm sticking with the same back four, even though I do rate Schlotterbeck. I think Jonathan Tah has been fantastic since he's come in. He's an excellent defensive centre. defensive minded centre back. It lets Rudiger go forward, and he doesn't have to shit his pants. It seems to be Andrick, but I'm going to throw a spanner in the works here. So I'm going to keep Kroos in the midfield.
Ooh, okay.
The Goretzka, unfortunately, will not be... Goretzka's not getting back into the team, unfortunately. I don't know why, but he got dropped for Pavlovic. He does play CM for Bayern, yeah, but I think the plan is to go back to Euro 2016 when he goes back to it. He goes back to the right-back role. I prefer Kimmich in midfield than right-back, to be fair. I don't like him in that role. When you look at it this way, though, I think Florian Wirtz is brilliant, but I don't know if you can play... Unless it's a 4-2-2-2, I don't think there's any other way to do it. So I'm still playing... Musiala's now the number 10 anyway, so you're actually getting exactly what you want, mate. Musiala's Germany's best attacking midfielder by a distance anyway. I would play Sané on the right-hand side. And then I would actually play Furyk. He's having an excellent season for Stuttgart. I think he deserves the warrant. Sané has always been a creative threat anyway when he does play for Germany. He's always been consistent for that. And he's explosive. Furyk is also explosive as well. And then up front, I'm still playing Füllkrug. That's what I would do, personally.
That's fair. So say,
Then
for example,
also,
if you had to bring a Havertz into it, whereabouts would you fit him? Would you move Musiala back over to where Sané is and then play Havertz behind, or would you drop Füllkrug and bring him in?
I put Havertz right outside.
Interesting.
I put Havertz on the wing. I'm not...
Because when he's been at Arsenal and Chelsea as well, whenever he's been slapped up front on his own, he's been absolutely shocking.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's wasted up there.
Yeah. I think, personally though, I think Germany's strongest setup though, if you put all of them in there, even if Furyk was to come off the bench, you could put Sané there. And he does always seem to play really well.
Gnabry.
Yeah. But unfortunately, because he's the international captain, Gundogan will be in this team. But I would not pick Gundogan over this midfield three. I wouldn't do it. It's not because I don't rate Gundogan, I do. It's just that's what I would do. But I think the 4-4-1-1 does give Germany a little bit more control. Theoretically, you could also do the same thing as a free. Pavlovic is a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
You could also do that. Or you could do... just make sure I've got this there. Actually, no. Then you get your Gundogan. But you still have Gundogan the box-to-box role, not the holding role. And it still lets you have Pavlovic. See, why? Like, I've always liked Nagelsmann. I think he's quality, but there's some things that I'm not like. Gundogan's only international captain because Kimmich has had an absolute bitch fest recently. But he's actually genuinely been bitching. That's why he's not the international captain.
Yeah.
But even so, if you're bringing Toni Kroos back into set, why not make Toni Kroos the captain?
Good point.
But then, alternatively as well, if that's another one, that's a 4-3-3. If you want to play, I'm not sure playing a 3-4-3 is the best case for Germany. Because that would mean putting Kimmich as a right wing back. And I don't know, I just feel like that, I don't know if that works. But then what's scary as well is you could also do this. So they're playing central midfield roles. I'm just putting them in that. Actually, I'll just set them there. So they're now playing as 2 10s. That's a 4-3-2-1. You've also got that as well.
Mhm.
If you put if Wirtz and Musiala are indeed the intention, there's some great options though. That's just kidding. Like Germany have got the talent in these attacking areas. For me, the problem is the right defense and who plays the holding role. I don't think he's going to do Pavlovic anyway. I think Pavlovic will be off the bench. I think he will go with Andrić.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Andrić played really well beside Toni Kroos. I'm not against it.
Mhm.
But I think if you're looking at box-to-box 3-man midfield, I think Goretzka's in such good form. He should still be given a chance to play in this team. Like, I would still have him in this team. I still rate Goretzka. But again, it's only fair.
Yeah, it's only fair, and obviously it's where he fits as well. Because just looking at that, I don't see where he fits.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think though? If you had to, like, say if it was like not fully strength squad, this is just the Germany team from the France game.
Yeah.
So obviously these were some of the talent. So the starting lineup, I'll
Mhm.
bring up again. So the starting lineup for Germany against France.
Yeah, I've got it here.
was
Ter
Sounds
Stegen, Kimmich, Rudiger, Tar, Mindelstadt.
Oh, it's not shared. What the fuck? You've stopped sharing. I didn't say you could stop sharing. Yeah, I think Mittelstadt played okay, but I think Raum is better, and he plays for a better side. The Leipzig team is better than Stuttgart,
I agree.
but I also really do rate Furyk. I think he's played really well. So there's that base. So Nagelsmann's stuck with the 4-2-3-1. So you know what? We'll do the same. We'll do the same.
I agree.
4-2-3-1. There we go. It's actually done near enough the same lineup, except it's put Musiala in the central role, Gundogan on the right, but it had everyone else in the same role. So the bench, you had 3 strikers: Undav, Bayer, and Füllkrug. Furyk is a left winger. Muller's attacking midfield. Pascal Gross is pish. Benjamin Heinrichs obviously is a right back. Robin Koch is centre back. I think the one thing they're going to do though is you're going to play the most effective passers in the team. So the likes of Musiala, Wirtz, Kroos, Kimmich, Gundogan are probably going to be nailed on. There is one thing I would do though. Julian Weigel's not going to get in the team, so I can't use him as the holding midfielder.
No, Weigl won't get in there.
But what I would do, if Kroos is going to play in that role, I honestly would play this guy. I would play him. Hold on, because I'm not sure. Hold on. 2 seconds. Share this tab. I would put Emre Can as the defensive midfielder.
Oh, that's a good shout. Especially
And
holding as well.
Yeah, Pavlovic would be my backup.
Yeah.
I would drop. Personally, I know he's the captain, but I would drop Gundogan. So
Gundogan in favour of Musiala.
Yep, and I would put Sané there.
Interesting.
I think Germany at the Euros should be playing with their best white attackers and just go for it.
Yeah.
Use the width effectively with wingers. So I would play Musiala there as the 10. Wirtz, I think, is incredible, but I'm dropping him. I'm still playing Furyk.
Fair.
And that gives you the chance where you can rotate in Wirtz and Or you keep Musiala and you put Sani up front, you substitute Furyk off, you put Wirtz on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think it's wise to effectively nullify the use of the width unless you're going to deliberately play a 4 with the 2 there. I don't think Gundogan's a bad player. I've got nothing against Gundogan. But
at the end of the day, it's just where it fits in the competition for that number 10 role.
And Füllkrug as a natural 9 makes more sense. Or if he's available, I would play Werner.
Yeah.
It gives you the pace factor. But Füllkrug at least is a target man. Because effectively, you could also do Furyk as the backup.
Mm-hmm.
Werner could be the starting left winger. Let him cut in. There's options. This is definitely Germany's best team in a while. It's just, what will they do? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I think
interesting.
I think they've got options. Either way, I was still impressed by the team against France. I will be looking forward to the game against the Netherlands. I think Germany will beat Holland. And actually give them I'm hoping they give them a good scudding. Because
yeah, the Dutch will be the Dutch in that one for me.
Yeah, I think we'll see that coming in. But also as well, March friendlies are pointless anyway. Because players getting injured when they really need them for their clubs is really ridiculous.
Yeah, I think this has always been my approach with the March one. Unless you're qualified like for the World Cup or something, or the Euros in this case, then just keep your players at your clubs. Give them the rest.
Yeah, just let other players that don't get in squads, just let them play and give them a chance to force their case for the Euros.
Yeah. At the end of the day, use your friendlies prior to the tournament starting to really get things cracking. And like in Wales's position, that's really what the March international breaks are used for.
Yeah, like Scotland should have played.
Yeah,
like Scotland should have played Lewis Ferguson against
definitely.
Holland. It gives him a chance to get into that squad because he is Scotland's best attacking midfield player. And he didn't even get a start. I hope he starts against Northern Ireland. I think he's a good opponent. I do agree with the Wales comments as well. Right, my man. Time for a fun comment. Well, not comment. Topic.
Yes.
The Premier League versus Nottingham Forest is at its fever pitch. Mark Goldbridge is not supporting is not supporting his team, so we'll have to comment on Forest in a pragmatic way.
Yeah.
Forest obviously got the 4 points deduction. They're now at risk of getting relegated. Luton Town potentially could stay up, and I could be right all along. They are now, however, going to appeal this. What's your thoughts on this whole Forest situation, and also the whole financial element of the league? We know it's going in the summer, but what's your thoughts on this, and do you trust FA to have a better governance strategy going forward when it comes to this? The profit sustainability rubbish.
The difference between obviously the EFL and the Premier League is striking with the rules, but I think the way that it's been implemented this season and how all of a sudden it's gone really cutthroat, when before the Premier League have just turned and the FA have just turned a complete blind eye to it, when in the Championship, if you even sniff, you can get a points deduction or a transfer embargo. Like, at the end of the day, why is it taking this long for them to find guilty? Why weren't they found guilty earlier? And in Everton's the main case. You should have punished them earlier instead of coming down on them like a ton of bricks later on and really penalising them.
You're right.
Like in Forest's case, it should have been done last season when they were found to breach it. They're in their second or third season in the Premier League now. Should have been done way before then, and it was a red flag that they were going to be caught prior. But the fact that they're getting rid of it in the summer is a massive concern for me, because at the end of the day, it's going to push all these teams with ridiculously rich owners, especially the top six, into this sort of elitism category.
Well,
And
they're
I
getting
know,
rid of it. They're getting
yeah.
rid of it, but they're replacing it with something new.
but the question, do you know what they had actually announced? What is going to be the new system?
I think they have got it. I'll double check.
Because if it's very much like the way that the EFL are doing it at the moment, then that's going to be good. Even though the EFL massively has its flaws as well.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like safeguarding the clubs that are run absolutely atrociously. I mean, look at Reading for an example, where the
Yeah.
EFL just don't care and will just keep hammering them with like points deductions and everything instead of trying to actually
These are
help the situation.
So I can't see what it's being replaced with, but
Yeah.
there is another club we are going to talk about as well. But one thing is for sure. So these are the rules for the profitability and sustainability rules. So you make allowable losses of up to 5 million per season, averaged over 3 seasons.
Mhm.
Increase that figure to £35 million a year of owner investment, averaged over 3 seasons. And spread out any transfer costs over a maximum of 5 years. But in the simplest of terms,
Yeah.
clubs are allowed to lose £105 million over the course of 3 seasons, or the 35 million on a rolling basis.
For me, that's way too much. I think in the Championship it's like 35 million. I mean,
That's
for
the
me, that
maximum,
should be that should be carbon
The-
copied into the Premier League.
But the Premier League is 35 million over a rolling basis, 105 million over 3 years. But to be fair though, the Premier League would be fucked if it was just 35 million though.
It would. But then
Because
again, is
there's
that
so much money.
teaching
There's so
clubs
much
to
money
be
in the
more
league.
sustainable though? And say,
That's
for
the aim.
example, in the unlikely event that a team goes down, they absolutely failed to go up in the first season. Nice one, Mace.
Thanks for watching, Miz. It's been an
And then
absolute pleasure as always.
And then don't have the finances to compete towards the end. That's where there's so many nuanced opinions with it, and it's just got to be the fair balance for me at the end of the day. Like, I think with the EFL one, maybe getting a bit more funding in there would help quite a lot. But I mean, 105 million. If the rules are set in place now with that, Everton deserves to be punished, and so do Forest, and a number of other clubs as well with those.
Yeah, it's 105. Yeah,
Those operating
it's
system.
it's spread over. Julio, as always, is the referee lover. He's now the club lover. I feel bad for Forest in the sense you come up and get all that playoff money and spend it all, and then get in trouble for spending it all.
But to be fair, in Forest's case, when it comes to like transfers and stuff, Forest didn't spend it wisely.
Yeah, like the only effective signing you can really say in terms of like the big money was Morgan Gibbs White.
Yeah. And even then, when you look at it as well, considering what other clubs have done, look at what Luton have done with their playoff money, etc. Aside from like investing in the squad in certain areas, they've actually invested it off the pitch to cover it up. Because then you can obviously put it in the back end and not display it as a loss. Because at the end of the day, that money was like invested on upgrading their stadium, improving their facilities. I mean, some clubs that are coming up, even pushing it most of the money into sorting the youth academy out, that could massively put you in a good situation moving forward. Like, look at the way that Brighton have invested and spent the money wisely.
They massively overspent on
Yeah.
Gibbs White. He's been a great player though, but they did overspend on that where there was no need.
I think it was more Cooper wanting to get him in to fit into his system, considering how good, him being used at Swansea. I wouldn't say he was particularly good at Swansea, but
it'll be hard for them to make any profit on him as well.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like because he's a good player, and they could sell him for a lot. But
if they get
do
relegated, he's going to be
they'll
the
get
first to
picked
go for me, 100%.
And he'll get picked apart.
Yeah.
I think that's a big reflection of them. So Joyce, Cooper had him at Swansea under 17s World Cup. Yeah, he did. He's an absolute brilliant player.
Yeah.
If there was if there wasn't for another English player in the Premier League, if there wasn't for another English player in the same position in the Premier League, I would have had him at United, and that's Eze.
Amazing.
Because I do like Gibbs White, but Eze's the one I want the most from that position. To be fair, I'd like United to make a few English signings in the summer, but Eze's definitely one of them. Gibbs White is excellent. He will go somewhere and he'll excel. want to talk about Leicester though, because they can get it as well.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Leicester?
So I haven't read too much into the Leicester situation as of yet, but I mean, considering this, so Leicester was sort of they were spending as if they were going to be a sustained sort of top 6 club, but obviously because it turned out to be a complete and a disaster, this is when they get exposed by the Premier League, because obviously their operating losses are going to be exposed with the pretty much the 100% cut in funding that you get from being relegated.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what have cost Leicester. I mean, even though they're in an absolutely terrible run as it is now, if they do end up going back up, I mean, they're going to be in a worse position than they've started this year. They could even be starting the season on like -10.
They're in trouble.
Even a transfer embargo, they are.
And they've got a tough game on Saturday too, Leicester. They've got Bristol City away.
Yeah.
And look at the league. We spoke about it last week how they've bottled a 17-point lead. They're behind Leeds on goal difference, and they've played a game, but they have played a game less than Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird when you look at the league though, it's only a point between the top 3, Ipswich, Leicester, and Leeds. It's only a point. But the better goal difference is top of the league Leeds.
Yeah. And that's
Southampton can still do
Leeds
well.
have just been incredible second part of the season, but I mean, at the end of the day, as you said, how can you bottle a 17-point lead where you're basically on at the start of the season? I mean,
it's insane. Like
it's piling on Leicester, isn't it, at the moment? Bottling a lead,
players like
FFP.
They've got a few decent players. Obviously, Dewsbury Hall's now linked to Man United as an English squad talent. I wouldn't mind Dewsbury Hall. He's been excellent for Leicester, but there's a few other players I'd have ahead of him. But that's not because it's English against it. It's just purely, I would take. I would rather Eze as a midfield role, but Dewsbury Hall as a defensive position player wouldn't be okay. Mavididi is incredible. I'd take him as well.
What a player!
I'd take him as well. He's really good. It's just the madness of Leicester. Like, generally thought like they were running away with it. We saw their fans appear in our streams. They were piping up saying, "Oh, we're going to run away with it. We're going to absolutely mince it." And we haven't seen them since.
Yeah, especially since January as well, where it's just they've been worked out. They've been massively worked out. They're not winning these squad games that you got to win in the Championship. I know they say magic of the Championship, but I mean, look at Reading in 06. We never saw them losing these like odds-on to win mid-table games, and yet Leicester seems to be doing it all the time at the moment. And the way they're playing as well, it's miles off from where they were at the start of the season. Too many banana skins, and if they go up, oof. I mean, the model that needs to be taken example is Wolves. I mean, massively overspent in their first couple of seasons, especially in the Championship as well, where they gambled everything and put the house on it. But where they try to sustain it and be sensible to get back within FFP to not get the Forest treatment. Fair play to what they've done. It has put them a bit of risk at the bottom half, but they've been in good form recently and they're pushing up. They sustain well.
So there's quite a few interesting articles here. I found one from Football 365 regarding Chelsea. But there's also one there from yesterday, and it's about 6. It's literally, the title is 16 brackets minus 3 conclusions on England versus Brazil in males and Jose Mourinho in, Gareth Southgate out. Okay, that's quite interesting. What? That can't be real. That can't be a real article. Man City one-time expulsion won't work. They should pay off a 690 point debt.
What?
Literally, that's an article on Football 365. That's mental. I'm just hoping that Xabi Alonso does the right thing and just does not go.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. But yeah, the Football 365 article, I'm going to bring on screen. We can just read through it. Let's see. Julio, if you're still watching, you'll like this as well because it's quite interesting. Zoom in because it also mentions Cole Palmer. It mentions Cole Palmer as well. So the title is Chelsea boldly has no way out with points deduction coming this year. Palmer's asking price emerges. He's a really good player, Cole Palmer. I do rate him.
Brilliant.
So here is the article. So according to ex-Everton CEO Keith Vinus, Chelsea's points deduction for the biggest breach of profit sustainability rules so far is coming this year. Everton and Nottingham Forest have already been docked points for breaching the Premier League's PSR rules, and Chelsea are at risk of the same fate. Under current regulations, Premier League clubs are only allowed to lose 105 million over 3 years. Chelsea have yet to submit their accounts for 2023-24, but the previous 2 years leave them with a combined loss of 211.5 million.
Well, that's a points deduction straight out.
Yep.
If the Premier League follow the exact same system that they done with Everton and Nottingham Forest, and that could be a lot higher because that's Everton was about 300 million, but I mean Forest was a little bit. They could be looking about 8 points at this rate. Chelsea.
Exactly. It also says Manchester City are also in hot water at the moment, and Vinus believes expulsion for the Premier League would be on the table if they are found guilty of their 115 charges for a breach in FP rules. FFP. Speaking on Chelsea's situation, Vinus suggests that points deduction is coming and there is no way out of this one for the Big Six club. I think this time next year we're going to be sitting here discussing the Chelsea rule breach, Vinus told Football Insider.
Yeah.
He then says, but I don't think the Premier League have left themselves anywhere else but to go, but points deduction. I think Chelsea have had the biggest breach. Unless there's some very clever engineering done on the transfer market, but I think it would be very hard to do. Listen, don't underestimate Todd Bowley and his ability and connections with Saudi Arabia. Again, there's no need to mention Saudi Arabia. It's nothing to do with them. Let's see. This time this year, there'll be a lot of unhappy Chelsea fans. No one cares. They can rent. They can rent that. Vinus also indicated that Chelsea will learn the verdict during the midway point of 24-25. I would do it right at the start. If they're going to get a points deduction, start them on like minus 10 points or something.
Yeah, do it straight away.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when their accounts get filed, that's when you really need to go for it. And even then, like the EFL, bring it in straight away. Read the accounts and go bang. Don't go through all the legal stuff. Go for a straight. I know it's bad me saying that, but at the end of the day, if it should be black and white if they've breached the rules. So bring it in straight away.
Agreed. There's comments here saying the Premier League will have seen the problems they've created and will be keen to expedite things as well as they can.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty clear by June where things are and the numbers should be filed. Chelsea will then have to face the music. The sale of one or two pricey assets would ease Chelsea's issues, and Cole Palmer has been linked with Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City. I don't think he goes back to City.
He won't go back to Man City.
Palmer's been sensational since leaving the Blues for 42.5 million, which we're aware of. This can fuck off.
But the thing is, if Cole Palmer was to be sold, I don't even think that would cover.
I'm sorry.
And they'd still get fined.
They value him at more than what? Chelsea valued Cole Palmer at more than 85 million and could demand a fee comparable to the figures for Declan Rice and Jack Grealish if they are forced to sell.
That's why I'm not taking it seriously.
If they are forced to sell, the most you're getting is 60. If that. And I think
I'd even go 55. I'd even say 55 is reasonable at the moment.
And I would take
considering no offense to Cole Palmer, but at the moment you're literally getting a mid-table Premier League winner.
I would take him just for his numbers alone this year. He's been really good.
Yeah.
Like if I'm looking at English talent, as say Man United had to sign English talent in the summer. Unfortunately, Reece James is off the table, so no right back. But I'm taking either Tomori or Branthwaite as an English centre back. Actually, this is what I would do. Bremer, Branthwaite, because I want Bremer at United. So there's two centre backs. I would take Eze, as I've already said. Palmer or Bowen
Mhm.
plus Marcus Edwards, and then we just need legs in midfield. To be fair, there's some people who would actually take Conor Gallagher. I wouldn't. Colwell as a backup centre back is okay. Mark Guay would be better,
Yeah.
but Colwell could also play left back as well. But we do need a left back because Luke Shaw is finished,
Hmm.
and that seems to be the only person who seems to pick it up on it. But I think we do need at least 4 or 5 good English signings in the summer anyway, because we need to have a good homegrown quota, but also players are actually quite good in that fashion. I wouldn't mind a few of those, but we do need legs in our midfield besides Kobe Mainu. He's the only genuinely good leg, and he's quality.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We do have an hour,
Mhm.
give or take, where there's actually no topic planned.
Mm.
So this last hour is just going to be anything in general you want to talk about, and any questions in the chat. So this time is literally,
It's the chat's turn.
it's the free hour. It's chat's control. So we could go another 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
Let's go another
Or we
15, I reckon.
So let's go for then. 10:30. Aye, that's all, folks.
Julio wants to dip out early.
He ain't going anywhere. We'll go until we'll go until 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got any comments or questions in the chat, fire them in, and we will answer them. Doesn't have to be Premier League related. It could be anything else. It could be internationals. It could be any other league you want to talk about. It could be transfers in the summer you'd like us to talk about that you want us to see. Feel free, jump in, ask away. You're more than welcome. Speaking of transfers, though, what do you think for Cardiff in the summer, though?
It's hard to say at the moment, to be honest. Got to see how we end up. I think the first number one thing we got to do is get Bullett's contract renewed.
Absolutely. Okay, that's quite deadly. From sales to buys. Fine, Nathan, I'll let you have the honour.
Brilliant. Let me let's get an Excel spreadsheet open. My absolute favourite.
I'll be generous. I'll get my other laptop up because I've got Office 365 on it, and I'll do the exact same spreadsheet so I can't hide.
Mm-hmm. Right. In fact, I'll put it on my screen. You literally just don't need to call them out.
Price tags will be difficult though because we don't know what the price tags in summer is going to be like though, Julio.
True.
So I don't think price tags is fair.
So if we go sales for the price in this column, if I can type.
Yeah. Well, we just do it. You know what we'll do for players is we'll base it on current market value and say transfer market.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Nah, Julio, you said you got to ask me for mine, so you're excluded. You should have said us, but nope, you said that, so it's your fault.
Anyway, let me get Man United up on here. Right.
Okay.
Let's go for it, I reckon.
I'm doing the exact same. I'm not going to change it. So I'm going to be quite consistent.
Mm-hmm.
My main buys are going to be defensive.
Yep.
Because I still think United in the summer must really fix that defense, or better yet, tier list, stay, go, and that. If there is a,
I reckon go for the spreadsheet for the time being.
I don't know if there's a tier list for the actual current United squad. So yeah, I agree. So I'm just getting the same. I want it to match. So sales, price, buys.
Let's move these over a bit so we can get some names in.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. Okay, so what I'm thinking purely to start is for sales.
Mhm.
Top of my list. Same. I'm going to do the exact same. I'm going to do the same name. So for me, top of my list is Anthony Martial. Because he's had long enough.
Yeah.
And he's just not... He's not doing it for me at all. Yeah, so I would say...
By the way,
value-
currency is all 10. Everything's in million, by the way, for anyone wondering.
I don't think we'll get a lot. So I'm going to say... Decimal places, is that...
100,000, sorry.
Yeah.
Unless I actually go for it.
I'm going to put decimal places as 0. Martial contract, it does expire, yeah, so I'm going to go for that. So so price free. If his contract just goes in for fuck all.
Yeah.
That's just inevitable because it's Martial. Two seconds, it's just been a fucking stupid weirdo. Second one, yep, 250k off the wage bill is crazy, but I expect it to be reinvested into top players. Next player, I'm going to say, to be honest, I think even though he's had a decent season, he still needs to go. Harry Maguire. And I don't think we'll get a lot of money concerning his age. I don't think we'll get a lot of money, so I would say 35 million. I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Guess how much he's priced for on Transfermarkt?
25 million.
25, yeah. Actually, no, 20, I think. Yeah, 20.
I mean, we should be able to get a bit more than that. There, so let me fix it now. There we go. 35. Just behave. Aye, 35 million. There we go. Yeah. Given he's 30 now, I believe. Yeah, he is. Next one, I'm going to say Wan-Bissaka. He's had a decent season. Again, it's not a problem. It's just circumstantial for me where it really does matter. I think we just need to be wise here.
Yeah, he's valued at 20 million on Transfermarkt, by the way.
I think we'll get a little bit more. I'm going to say 25.
Straight up to 60 million, that's not bad.
Yep. So I'm going to do actually, I'm going to put the whole thing, general currency there, so that will show going forward. Yep. Amrabat price, do not re-sign. Literally just do not re-sign. In fact, no, end of loan. End of loan, it'll do. Yeah, that's more appropriate. End of loan. Shaw. Yep, he needs to go as well. His injury record is appalling, and he is not staying fit.
That's fair.
His transfer value. I'm not actually sure. What was the thing you're doing? Is it sum equals B2 down?
Yeah.
Let me just get that. Bring the thing up for me again, 2 seconds, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The actual formula. Aye, that's it. Equal. Oh, shit. Behave. So I'll put it down here. Equals sum B2. Aye,
Colon
that's
B7.
it. Colon. Yeah. Then close bracket. Aye, it's close bracket.
Yeah, close bracket.
Why is it being a little shit for me? Oh, see, that's why. See, been in the wrong bloody field. C2.
True. That's very true.
Okay, I'll keep them then. How dare you? They are not. Oh shit. All right. So what's Luke Shaw's value? Sorry.
So he is valued at, where is he? 35 million apparently.
38.
So you reckon 38 million?
That's 98 so far.
Wow.
It's a little bit ambitious for United, but it's again, this is just my point of view, and if you don't like it, cool. I'm gonna say Palestri, and I'd say what 8 million. I think is his, roughly. I think that's his value.
Let me find him.
I don't think he's that much. I rate Palestri. I just don't think he's going to get substantial minutes.
Why is he coming off on mine?
P-E-L-L-E-S-T-R-Y. T-R-I, sorry. Sancho's definitely next on my list, don't worry. Sancho will go to Dortmund, I think, for about 30 million, so that's 24 million pounds.
Did you say sorry?
His market value is like 30 million, so it's like 20 million, so it's like 24 million for
24.
Sancho.
Oh, Sancho, sorry.
Yeah, Palestri, I put 8 million, because I think that's roughly thereabouts.
So yeah, that takes you to 130.
Yep, and then I think last one, roughly. Actually, 2 more, because I think he's going to go Ericsson for free. I think he's just, like, his minutes wise, I think he will want to leave.
Yeah.
And last one, I'm going to say to be fair, I do think he should go, even though I do rate him. It is Lindelof. I'm going to say 15 million.
15.
Yep.
To be fair, that's not a bad shout considering he's how much is he? 15. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, I would just ask for his market value. I wouldn't take the piss.
Fair. Yeah, so that gets you 145.
Yep, which is not so bad.
In fact, I'm going to make
Some room.
net spend as well.
Actually, that is another good one. I do not want him. I would release him if I could. Greenwood. If I think value-wise, United want a shit ton of money for him. I'm going to put 35 million. And fuck it, because I don't rate him. But if he gets a new contract, I'll be pissed. Scott McTominay, 20 million. That's 200 million.
How much for McTominay, sorry?
20.
There we go. Bang on 200. Let's add some conditional formatting as well. There we go.
I don't think we would get a lot from. Can we stop calling him McSauce and just use a proper name like McWanker? Yeah. To be fair, you could probably get 25 million for him. I'll actually put up to 25 million. I'll be generous.
Yeah, go on.
There's no way you get 35 million for McTominay. Fuck off. No football club in their right mind spends 35 million on Scott McTominay. Like, that's an insult to decent players. Right. Buys, flat out. I'm going all in. So, Bramer, easy. Like, I want him at United, like, straight off, like, the bat. I don't care. Let me just get, so that's set to currency. Yep. So Bramer is Juventus quoted him at 60, so I'll go 65. I think that's reasonable.
I think so.
Then I'm going. I think the fact is that they want 60 million for Bramthwaite, even though I rate him. I think it's stupid to spend 125 million on two centre backs. But I would, because I want United to be ambitious with defence. I'm going to go a little bit left field. I'm going to say Gonçalo Inácio. And I'm going to say 40 million would be enough to get him out of Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, that takes you up to 105, and then 100 million on that.
Yeah. I'm going to say Inácio we could get a little bit less than Bramthwaite. I reckon we could. But you know what, actually, I'll put up a little bit more. I'll say 45. 45 million. 45 or 50, what do you reckon?
Let's go 47.5.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then how much would we go for Bramthwaite?
I'm just going to take him out. I'm just going to take him out because I think it's just the cost of him would be too much. Two centre backs. I'm doing sales for even look at budgets, Julio. Left back. See, I would love United to just sell Shaw and sell Theo Hernandez, but it's not going to happen. I think we would need to spend more than 60. I know 60 has been quoted for Bramthwaite, but it'll be more than that, Danny, because United are just United. You know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Alvaro Fernandez recall. I just hope it happens. Alvaro Fernandez for me has to come back. I don't know if United will do it, but I know I would. I'm going to say Palhinha. So that's what, 45 million probably. Then I'm saying it because I really, really do like this guy. I'm saying Eze. But I don't know what his market value is.
I'll tell you now. $48 million.
I'd say we'll probably have to spend, what, 10 mil more maybe? 58?
Yeah, 58.
And I would take... Do I want Marcus Edwards or I don't want the other winger that I think is fantastic? I really do like Marcus Edwards, but I think he's going Crystal Palace apparently. So
Mhm.
I'm going to go for somebody who actually does have a release clause, and he's flying. 42.5 million, I think, is release clause.
Mhm.
Takefusa Kubo.
Interesting.
I believe his release clause is 42.5 million, and it's active this summer. I believe that's the value of his release clause, 42.5.
Uh, 60.
Is that euros or million?
Euros. Let me get the exchange rate.
Whatever that is, that's what I'm putting in bang on his value.
Okay, so his release clause is actually that.
I'd say 51.5 then. I thought it was a little bit lower because his release clause, but that's my fault. Yeah, 51.5.
Yeah.
What's Palhinha's market value actually?
I'll tell you now. I've definitely spelled that wrong.
It's just the PAL.
I got him from Fulham.
Yeah. I really like his quality.
He is brilliant. 55.
Oh. Actually, hold on. Since his contract's down his last 18 months, well, to a year, and he is actually on the move this summer, what's Kimmich's market value?
75 million.
Oh, we ain't doing that. Stick
No
with
chance.
Palhinha then.
Yep.
So Palhinha, you're looking at what, 50 then?
I'll probably say about 55.
Yeah. And then, so that's two centre backs, a recalled left back. Yeah, to be fair, that's a good point. We shouldn't spend any more than 40. So I'll go with, actually, you know, for Palhinha, I'll go 46 million because if we might be lucky to bring him down. Because his age, I do think that's fair.
Yeah.
So 46 million. Then do I sign one winger or two? Because I would still sign Edwards.
Bearing in mind, look at your net spend.
Yeah, fuck net spend. Marcus Edwards' market value is around 40, I think. I'm gonna double check myself actually. Marcus Edwards. Transfer market. You, sir, are valued at, with a 2-year contract left, because it's a shame we're not going to sign someone like a Jude Bellingham, who I would sign, or Job.
Yeah.
He
Wonder
has
how much Job is worth.
Jude Bellingham, sorry, not Marcus Edwards, actually has a release clause of 60 million euros. But his market value is 25 million euros.
Could be an option. Yeah, Jude Bellingham's market value is 180, so that's not happening.
If United had ambition, I'd take him or Musiala, but we won't do
Yeah.
it. Marcus Edwards in pounds is 21.4 million. You know what? I'm actually going to put that down. Marcus Edwards as well. I'm going to say 25 million.
Bingo.
So that's like theoretically, Marcus Edwards can play either side of the front three. So can Kubo. Eze is a future attacking midfielder alongside Fernandez. Palhinha beside Mainu gives you legs in midfield. Alvaro Fernandez at left back, recall. He's been fantastic for Benfica. And that shows a backup centre back on the left side. And Bremer's just starting right sided centre back. And that means you let go of two centre backs, we need another right back actually. Because who's going to play beside Dallo? Kamwala No, I don't know. Either way, you still got something there.
Yeah. Smashed it though.
The fact that my transfer in total is 293 million. See, Tadebo's okay, but I like Diomande a lot more. I don't want to go too much on it in terms of what we've got. I wouldn't mind Will Fish coming back and getting more minutes as well. I know, to be fair, Maisie, you're right. I'm just trying to be realistic based on market value. Inacho would definitely be the more expensive player. Edwards is only release clause or lower. Antonio Silva's too expensive. Bramer's 65 million is close enough. And true, Julio was right about this. The net spend, like there's 100 mil starting budget, but even for United, 100 million is embarrassing. Starting budget United should be double that. Either way, I'm looking at United want to go younger and build a squad that's refreshing. But the oldest player there out of all the players I've actually targeted is Paulinho by 2 years over Bremer. 2-3 years older. The youngest player I believe is Fernandez. That's recall. But Kubo's 21. Edwards is 24. Ezzy's 21. Inacho's 20 actually, 2021. Edwards £52 million release clause. Yeah. When they go, oh, that's true. They've got to give money to Tottenham.
Yep.
All right, take him out then. Take him out based on that. That's a good point. Inacho's release clause is 51 million, so it's actually close in terms of that. So I'll bump up to 51. Alvaro Fernandez a recall. I can't think of a right back because I've already decided to let go of Wan-Bissaka. I've got the same. Just for everyone's watching, I am doing the same thing on my laptop, my new laptop, of course. I'm not playing the Pokemon emulators that I've got. I'm doing the same spreadsheets. Got to be consistent. If it was right backs, I mean, if Kimmich was available for a right back position, I wouldn't mind it. But hey ho, it's not going to happen. I don't think we'll get him. I don't know who we could do, like Frimpong. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've got Pokemon X, Y, Omega Ruby, Ultra Sun, Sun, Diamond, Soul Silver, all on my laptop. Totally class, man. Mega Gengar is a starter. But we're not talking about. Yes, I have. Question: would you keep two right backs, or would you still sell one of them? Because I would still sell Wan-Bissaka. He can only do one thing for me.
I'd probably keep him, especially if you're to be on the safe side and maybe turn him over in the following season.
Yeah, my audio's a bit weird. But it's okay. Don't worry, I'm still here. Here's a question. So this is what I would. This is theoretically what I would do in terms of who I would sign. But the weird thing is, I have another mad idea. Who do you think the next Man United manager is actually going to be?
No idea.
I would get rid of Luke Shaw in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Because he's injury prone, he's inconsistent. I'd sign Theo Hernandez, but it's not going to happen. Or to be fair, I do like the left wing back that plays for Inter Milan, DeMarco.
DeMarco's class, yeah.
Bernardo wouldn't let Southgate happen, exactly. That's a good point. let's do it this way. So this is what I was thinking. So we'll stop there. So we'll stop from our one. Create a new spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do it this. So in column A, I want you to type Julio. And then in in column B, put sales.
Yep.
And then column C, buys.
Yep.
And then in column E, put Dan. And the same thing applies. Because I want to see some similarities and see if there isn't any in terms of what we can do. And then IGK, Maisie. And we're just going to run it. We're just going to see what we get. And you guys have got the same principles. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So, you get whatever sales you want. So what this is, Maisie, is exactly what I've just done. So, who do you want United to sell? Who you want United to buy? And what do you think realistically the values are? Yep, you pick yours, yeah. And we're going to put them on this. Just want to see some similarities. So you've got full control of who you sell and who you let go. You take as long as you want, it's fine. You've got that control. You don't have to do a lot. You can do, say, 5 or 6 if that's easier. And this is not to put pressure on you guys or to like come at you for your ball knowledge or whatever. It's nothing to do with that. It's purely you've seen who I would sign or look at. It's who would you guys look at and who would you let go based on the same circumstance. That's all it is. Dan, if you want to go realistic, that's fine. But it's the same principles, irrespective of who the manager is going to be. So I'd like to just see what people think, really. I think it'd be quite fun. And I actually quite enjoyed it for myself, to be fair, so... No, Julio, you're not going to do a spreadsheet. I want to be able to see it from you. So I want you to tell me in the chat. We're going to add it to the spreadsheet anyway. But I just need to see yours here so I can do it at the same time, because it's fun. Fun times coming cooking. I reckon all 3 of them, either for sales or buys or both, will say at least the same name 3 times.
Yeah, I think so, at least.
At least 3 names will be repeated in sales and buys. And probably Martial is probably going to be one of them for sales alone. I should add Mason Mount to my sales list. Just kidding.
Here we go.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's for Dan alone. Sales. Varane. jeez. Van de Beek, Casemiro, he's letting the midfield go. Eriksen, similar to what some of these are similar to what I said, except I said keep Casemiro. But if we did sell him, I wouldn't be too bothered. So that's Varane, Van de Beek, Casemiro, Eriksen, Sancho, Palestre, Martial. So what's that? 8? 7 or 8? Sale?
That is 7.
7 players. Okay then. That's not so bad. You know what? Fair decent. 100 million, whatever the budget is to start, plus these sales. What, an extra 150? Conducting my list as we speak, Julio's probably looking at some random weird nose. I would say if you're looking at it market value wise for each of these players, I would say roughly an extra 125, 150 million maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on how good Berard and Ashworth are at selling these players. Sancho at Dortmund, you're looking at least 25 million. Casemiro, you can still get a decent fee. Varane, decent fee. Martial's a free, so that's market value achieved. Because he's a free piece of shit. Palestre, you're about 8 to 10 million. Eriksen's probably a free. Unless United can sell him, then it's definitely profit. Oh, actually, hold on. Put one more name. I'm surprised Dan's not said Greenwood.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he'll include Greenwood in his list, unless he ran out of characters.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's just to be clear. That's Diomande from Sporting, Spinazzola backup left back, Artur Tiat the centre back from Rennes, João Neves from Benfica, and Jimenez from Feyenoord. These are some top. João Neves is a quality. To be fair, I would have taken Neves, but it's the price. That's. To be fair, some of these are actual fucking deadly. And I wouldn't mind any of these. Like I generally wouldn't. And I actually think if he hadn't got injured, team in the tournament for the Euros would have been Spinazzola, not Luke Shaw.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Spinazzola was definitely the best left back / left wing back at the Euros. Because we saw in the opening game just how good he was with Insigne. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's understandable then. I do think you'll go Juventus or Atletico, to be fair. Either way, he is going. There's no way he's getting kept. And I can't wait for his fan base to cry. I do like Maisie's buys, to be fair. That's 5 smart moves. And it's a left-footed centre-back as well, Tiat. I think he'll be good for Belgium going forward. I think he will be good for Belgium. So altogether, you're looking at Neves is what? Let's see. João Neves. Let's see. Someone get the violin out for them. So he has a contract until 2028, João Neves, which is fine. His market value is 45 million with no release clause. So I would say what when you this is converted into euros, so that's 45 million euros. So Julio's gone guns blazing. Yep, he's gone guns blazing there. Yep, so There's no way anyone signs McTominay for 30 million. I'm telling you now. No one is stupid
No
enough to
one.
spend 30 million on him. Malacia, yeah, to be fair, he's screwed.
Interesting.
Just got a point. Yeah, you've got it wrong. You've put, when you look at it, you've put Maisie's buys now and Julio's buys.
Yeah, that's what.
Martial.
Oh my god! Of course I did.
See, I would add Shaw because like he's finished for me.
Been a long day.
It has been. Martial, Lindelof, Van de Beek, Palestre, Gamcho. I'm going to do it exactly the same way. G Wood, Evans, Amrabat, Williams. Yeah, good shout. I forgot about him. Shola, short here. Yeah. Short tire instead of Shaw. Yeah. I think as well, you know who else could actually go as well? I think we might sell Hannibal Meshbury.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to rename Greenwood to Wankstein. That's a very appropriate name. Wankstein. I wonder who Dan's going to put in for buys. I think Hannibal will be loaned out again. I think he might just get sold. I just think he might just get sold. And to be fair, he probably should. Like, Kobe Mainoo's ahead of him by a landslide. I think maybe Dan Gore gets sold as well. Okay, that's an interesting one from Dan. So he signs Branthwaite. Fernandez returns, like I said. Douglas Luiz. I rate that. João Neves, that's two midfielders. Bakayoko for PSV, so that's a winger. And either Harry Kane or Evan Ferguson. Now, I think Evan Ferguson is not as good as people make out, so I'm inclined to say Kane, but alternatively, I would say Ollie Watkins. I was also thinking of Stupinan as a left back.
Good shout.
I think he's actually quite decent. So when you look at it, let's now compare these. Apart from, Ivan Toney can get fucked. I do not want the bet taker to join the club. Let's have a look at these market values and let's actually see pound for pound. Once we get Julio's list of buys, once we get them, let's put them in and let's just see not who has the stronger spend, but value for money, who is definitely more effective. I think I can already guess who's more effective, but Julio will probably try some washed magic stuff. One centre back, one left back, a defensive midfielder in João Neves. Douglas Luiz could be box to box or defensive midfielder. Bakayoko was a winger. Kane or Ferguson is a number 9. I would say Kane more in the sense, Kane or Watkins, purely because Ferguson's like the same age as Højlund.
Yeah.
And what's the point?
Need experience there.
Yeah. I think Jimenez at Feyenoord is what, 25? 26? So that's actually a
Yeah,
decent
about
move. Jal Neves is obviously a young lad. Arthur T is 23. Spinazzola is pushing 30, which is fine. Diomande is early 20s.
Yeah.
So that's good experience and wealth of talent there from both sides. Not gonna lie, Julio's gonna come out with some weird shit. I actually wonder who Julio's gonna list. I also wouldn't mind João Pedro, but it depends on what position you play him in. Because I think he's a decent player.
Yeah, he was quality a few years back.
I like Pepe at Porto as well.
Yeah, even though he's like in his 40s now, isn't he?
No, not Pepe the defender, Pepe the winger.
Oh, of course.
I was gonna say, like, I like Pepe the defender, but he would get killed in the Premier League at his age, even though he's a good defender. He would get exposed. Come on, Julio. Albania's defeat was quicker. I actually wonder what. See if he's putting in a random bloody list. The 6th spot is hard. We'll just leave it then. At the moment, just leave it and just give us the rest of your list. By the time we get his list, it'll be 1948 in reverse. We've gone back in time. At the moment, all I've got is who? I would let go of both, Danny. I would let go of Hugo and McNeil. Not because I don't think they're bad talents. I just think I don't see them getting first team at all. Especially if Højlund becomes an absolute goal machine. Like, but even more so, if he does and he becomes an even better player. Neither of them get ahead of him. You need an experienced striker to compete with Højlund. I don't think Hugo or McNeil are going to do it. I think they'd be good for other clubs like an Everton or Fulham or something like that and develop another striker or whatever. What's this? McNeil, I'd say more so. Hugo will be a loan deal. I think McNeil is better than. So I think McNeil is better than Hugo, to be honest.
Here we go.
So he's got one defender similar to me. Actually, no, he said two of the similar ones. He said Bremer and Alvaro Fernandez. Kimmich, maybe. I would, but I don't know about the value. I'm just not sure. Bremer's roughly the same. That's an odd striker name I would never expect. You'd actually want to sign the ex-City failure in NSU now. That's very interesting.
That is interesting.
And Colwell. Interesting. It's a shame that we can't just... It's a shame that Dan Ashworth won't have the balls to raid Newcastle for free of those players, because I would raid free his team. I'd take Botman, I'd take Gordon, I'd take Bruno Guimaraes. And just wind up the Newcastle fans even more. If Fernandez left, though, theoretically, if he left,
then
you could put Colwell at left back.
Potentially, could he fit? I don't know.
I think he would be okay. What about Tonali? I mean, I would take Tonali, but The length of contract, money, I don't know. Only player I take is trips. The rest of them piss me the fuck off. That is fair. And Pope. Isaac is a little bit inconsistent, even though I do like him. I do like Anthony Gordon, even though he's a bit of a tit. I still like him. Harvey Barnes is a decent player, but he's not United quality. Newcastle just want to be us. That's why they hate us so much. The little wimps. Stay in your lane, you're rich but shit. They couldn't be us anyway because we know how to win. We know how to win trophies.
Yeah, there we are. I think we have it.
I think so. So let's see. So Benjamin Šeško's good, but I would take his teammate. I'd go straight for Lois Openda. I do think he's a lot better than Šeško. I do rate Šeško though, but I do rate Openda. There's some good quality out there though, that's the thing, like there's some good quality. So let's see, let's look at names that are repetitive. Pretty much the sales are repetitive. In terms of buys.
Yeah, it's very varied. I think the only one that comes up twice is Neves.
Yeah. But he's just that good. Neves or Kimmich as the holding midfielders would make a lot of sense. You know what's mad though? Picture this. Kimmich, Mainu, or Neves, Mainu as a midfield. There's a lot of leg there. Either way. I think at some point, I think if this had been if we'd done this next year on my sales list, I would actually say Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
And it's not to get because I want him gone. I just think in 2 years' time, I think Bruno Fernandes will not be a Man United player. I think he will leave in the next 2 years.
Yeah, probably get a good sale for him. Try and recuperate some of
the 48 million plus add-ons. Neves would definitely set up. Neves, Mainu in the midfield for the next 10 years would actually kill. How would you do it, Maisie? Would you play Neves as the holding midfielder, or would you play Kobe Mainu? Because not gonna lie, I actually quite like Neves slightly like further forward in the box to box. Mainu is the holding midfielder. Mount is there, but also I think, yeah, it's true. We gotta hope that they get injury records resolved. I am liking these, by the way. Like with about just over 5 minutes to go of the podcast, I am really liking this. Varela at Porto instead of Kimmich. Varela's actually decent, but to be fair, I would take. Sorry, Maisie, I'm having to say this. I would take Hillman out of Sporting. But to be fair, there's another player I forgot to add to mine. There's one player I forgot to add to my list. Signing from the Scum Club. For this is a buy. Matt O'Reilly. I do rate Matt O'Reilly.
How much for?
I'm just double checking his market value. I know he plays for a shit club, but he's actually linked with. He is linked with the likes of Atletico and all that. 13 million is his market value. I would take Lewis Ferguson as well. as a Scottish player. Get rid of one shit Scottish player,
Yeah.
bring in a proper one in Ferguson as an
Mhm.
attacking midfielder. But yeah, Matt O'Reilly's market value is 30 million euros. So, but he would be a little bit more. So I actually think you'd have to spend a little bit more. So I'd say about 19 million. Because obviously, if Atletico want him, you'll have to spend a little bit.
Yeah.
I do rate him. I think he's cool, and he's a left-footed option as well.
Mhm.
You know what? Give me Douglas Luiz instead of Kimmich in my list if Casemiro sticks around. Fair. Hillman and Morata is a set midfield.
Mhm.
Yeah, to be fair, if you sign Hillman, you get Morita. But then you can also get Hillman plus Rio Hatate. And he's quality. Douglas Luiz, I'm just going to say, is gorgeous. Yeah, we know Mizzy. You had a great sense talking to him. To be fair, not a bad idea. To be fair, he's a good player.
Mm.
Okay, so no Julio. Jesus Christ! Right, you get one change after this. You get one change. That's it. Because bear in mind, we have 3 minutes left. Probably going to be Enishinali takes it or something because you realise
Oh,
the error of his
definitely.
ways. Has to be because Enishinali is shit. If he says Dominic Solanke, he's not coming back next week.
Oh no,
surprise.
no.
No surprise.
There we are.
Okay, so 5 signings from Maisie and 4 signings, from Maisie, 1 recall. So I'll remove Alvaro Fernandez as a recall. There we go. Hernandez out. See, I shouldn't have done that. There we go. So 4 signings from Julio. 5 signings from Dan. And 5 from Maisie. Okay. Looking at this, I think in terms of what I was talking about earlier on, I think Maisie's sort of got what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
2 centre backs and a full back. Maisie's sort of on par with me there. But it's the midfield and the striker. I think we need a little bit more midfield. But I think Maisie does get the defensive part of what I was thinking correct. In terms of full balance, I think Dan's got it. But yes, you can certainly add someone, Maze. Who would you like to add? And then after that, I'll let Nathan give his final words and then we'll wrap it. Our wingers are shit apart from Garnacho and Diallo. Oh, right. She wants Timber from Feyenoord.
Oh,
Quentin
the other one, Quentin Timber, yeah.
Yeah, Quentin. Q Timber or QT. QT Marshall. Now you've got a central midfield. Now you've got 2 centre mids, 3 defenders, and a striker. Yeah, I think it's fair to say, not being sexist or biased here, but I think we know who's actually won this.
Yeah.
I would shit myself if this was Maisie's team and she was a manager. There's so much more balance there. But these are so good either way. I would, as a collection, I would take some of these. Not in a bad way. I over all these lists, I would take a collection. And you've got a proper team. Something United have not had in a long time. If he was available this summer, I would still back Goretzka as a box-to-box player. I would. But with that, with 10 seconds to go, just want to say thank you everybody for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. Nathan, any comments?
I think we covered it.
The live chat you've been amazing. The live chat you've been amazing.
Yeah,
tonight,
smashed
so
it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Josh was supposed to be on tonight, but he hasn't made it. He's probably forgot his phone, but or whatever, we don't know. But in circumstance, to everyone that's been watching, thank you very much. No, it's we could technically go longer. It's Spotify. Spotify's got a 3-hour limit for some reason.
There we go.
I mean, we could go a bit longer, but I don't know.
Yeah, I can't go any longer tonight. Sorry, guys. I gotta be at the 6 tomorrow.
Spotify hates us. But next week, obviously, it was supposed to be me hosting next week. It was supposed to be Julio, but Julio betrayed us. So Julio will be hosting next week. But to our live chat, of course, please do like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on X, come on over to YouTube, subscribe to the World of Football podcast. But in the meantime, me, Nathan, are going to get out here. Thank you all for watching, and we shall night ride into the sunset, or in our case, the dusk, the darkness. And we will see you next week for Julio's show. So we're screwed. No, we're not. Bye for now.
Live on YouTube. And listen back on Spotify. This is the World of Football podcast.